injured in an accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show live on Tuesday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day, to which we say unbelievable. We really appreciate all the veterans in this country who work hard every single day, whether you are active duty, retired, reserved. Thank you so much for your service to our country. So many veterans go through so much every day. And of course, we think about those who are no longer with us because our freedoms are not free, my friends. The Monty Show presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, where you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. You can talk to a live injury attorney 24/7, 365. I don't mean a chat bot. I don't mean some little text message machine thing. No, you can get on live with an injury attorney when you need them, where you need them, and how you need them at theadvocates.com because they understand when you've been in an accident, it's one of the worst days of your life. That's why you get clear, risk-free advice at theadvocates.com. You can hand them the claims process. They're going to fight the fight that they have fought for so many others. And the most important thing, the fight they have won for so many others, they can win for you and your family at theadvocates.com. Kind of a crazy day. Dana Marie is already James is already in the comment section. And again, Dana Marie has kind of run from the truth here that she still has not verified her existence outside of the self. Now, she sent this selfie, and I want you to understand this is a family show, and I've hesitated to show this picture because, when you send a photo of yourself, sometimes you don't know where it's going to end up, but she sent it to us, and I'm just going to show it. Here is the selfie that Dana Marie sent.
Highly controversial, right? It's hard to tell if that's actually, Dana Marie in the comment section or if that's James posing as Dana Marie from the trunk.
And Dana did send nudes, of course. There it is. And she was, you need to get to the salon, go get some sugaring, a little extra overgrowth there. But the point is,
there's a lot of hair going on there. I'm not sure that's what we wanted to see,
outside of those two pictures, not
sure what we're doing there, Dana. Need to work on it. Need to prove your existence in the comment section.
I'm really trying to remain patient and calm and,
as we work through this difficult process.
Help me help you in this time of need. Dana, James, help me, Dana, Jimmy, Dana, and stuff.
James, Jimmy.
It's a busy life that women lead. You got to get that sugaring, waxing thing to happen.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Dude wants to know, what is Oak State James's favorite Pixar movie? Dana, now James is a completely different cut of monkey on this show. He's much more stoic than his alter ego, Dana.
But you can kind of see how they would work together really well, and it would be a match made in heaven and stuff, such as in
monkeys have a feather and everything.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And stuff.
We're making progress. This is good.
And when they drive around town in their car,
then there's that.
That's the untrained eye.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you guys should be showing off your drug use with the raccoon, but it is what it is. So,
yep.
there you go.
Matthew, good afternoon to you. Love you guys from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It's always go Heels. You have a lot of fans in Raleigh and Chapel Hill. We appreciate you guys. Belly's winning some games now. Team Nips is having a little twilight of his Chapel Bill era. See, is this a season or an era for Belichick? I don't know. Well, let's hope more wins are coming. Right. Monty can always compare Dana and James's IP addresses and let us know if James still refuses to admit it. I don't have their IP addresses, or I wouldn't. That feels like a lot of effort that would kill a bit on the show.
Yeah, why would we do that? I mean, we all know that we want the bit to continue, but we also know that we want someone to identify themselves as more than just a burner account on a VPN. That's
right. That's right. And stuff. And
right.
We
such as
we're ridiculous. Yeah. We are so ridiculous on this show with the fact that TCU James has taken over and absolutely dominated this show.
Where are we at in society today?
Really just tells you what kind of life that we live.
Yeah.
And I hope at some point we can move past the monkey business. Because I put pictures of monkey. Okay. Yes, please hit the like button. I have been terrible at this. I was chastised by, the Monty Show staff for not saying, hey, hit the like button, please. Give us a like. If you're watching on the old X machine, please come on over to YouTube and give us a like and a subscribe. We are like molasses and a sloth. We are moving towards 200,000 subscribers on the channel. We're at about 186,000. So,
Bro, we stream this show to Twitter. I open my Twitter and the first thing I see is a picture of a monkey.
That's what we do on this show. The warden from Shawshank saying hello to Dana. What say their fuzzy britches? Fuzzy britches. Wow. The real awkward guy. So does Texas beat Georgia this weekend? Gonna have to ask Arch Manning, because I think Arch Manning has a real opportunity to put Texas in the college football playoff, because the conference championship's out of reach, but you're in a position now where I feel like every win is incredibly important. And I think that you have to find a way, if you're Arch Manning, Jake, to have a huge game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it just needs to be one of those games where you don't leave it in doubt, right? I mean, you got to perform. I feel like Arch Manning hasn't really had, a sizable opponent or opportunity in the last several weeks. And this is his first opportunity to really bounce back from a couple of mediocre performances against the best opposition on his schedule, and he's looked really good the last couple of weeks. Obviously, against Vanderbilt, we saw his best so far anyway with his development and what's going on. So yeah, I mean, I think this is Texas's biggest game on the schedule. This is obviously Arch's, crowning moment. This is his shining moment. His ability to perform in this level of game is what defines him. Nobody cares what you do against Sam Houston or some opponent that you should beat 10 days out of 10. People care what you do on the road in Athens for a trip to the CFP on the line. That's what people care about.
Listen, I think this line is incredibly accurate. I very rarely believe that lines are accurate. Georgia's earned the favorite. Georgia has earned the right to be a touchdown favorite at home, which is what 6.5 is. And I think that I think Arch Manning is the most microscoped quarterback in the country. I'm a believer. I think He's had some really bad moments this year. He's had some very tough situations this year. And now I see that he is bouncing back and growing. And a lot of it is that, again, and I don't mean to be redundant, he's getting more snaps under center. It's giving him more weaponry. It's giving him more options. You're also seeing that, the offense is evolving. This is what makes Steve Sarkisian elite, is that he is installing offenses and game plans to help Arch Manning not play hero ball. Because I still maintain, and it might have been Orlovsky, somebody compared Arch Manning to Josh Allen. I think it's a great comparison mentally, because I think Arch felt like for a lot of the early part of the season, he was having to carry that football team. And I don't even disagree with that. He didn't do it well, but you saw how badly they were outclassed against Ohio State to start the season. And I think now a lot of the different phases and skill positions on this ball club have risen and have actually played a lot better. And you look at the way now that Arch Manning has stopped trying to play hero ball. And then you look at the way that Josh Allen has regressed to playing hero ball. And you're starting to see that equation that I always talk about. I truly believe that Arch Manning has the ability to be the best college quarterback in the country. He can be the best QB in college football week in and week out. We just haven't seen the consistency yet, but I have no doubt the talent is there. And when you are elite, big games like this bring it out. Big moments bring it out. You saw that with Fernando Mendoza over the weekend. You saw it with Julian Sand. You saw it with Dante Moore many times repeatedly. We need to see it this weekend with Arch Manning, because if we get the play from Arch Manning, Texas is going to win this game. And I think it's going to be very tight and very close. And I will be very interested to see how this whole thing plays out in Athens.
Yeah, I mean, I just think reputationally, this is such a big game for Arch Manning. I think that it can't be overstated. I think that Arch is someone who all the haters have been out for him. The pitchforks, the fire. They've all.
You?
Yeah, me. Yeah, because he's been underwhelming this year and hasn't lived up to expectations until a week ago. And ultimately, the dude's got to show out in big games. That's the truth of it. And in my opinion, he's the reason, or one of the reasons, that they're in the position they're in.
You were doing so well. You were saying good things. You had come to the dark side of supporting Arch, and then
yeah, listen, my throat's not going to be sore from throating, buddy. That's not happening.
Well, Monday it might well be. It might well be. You're going to have to de-insert Lanning and insert Arch, because this is a huge moment for him. And obviously we'll have a huge preview of that game. But I mean, do you lean towards him having another weekend? Do you lean that he'll play well?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he's going to play better. No doubt. I think it'll be fascinating to see what it looks like against that defense, because they are a really good defense. And it'll be curious to see how Texas and Sark decides to go about this game for Arch Manning. I mean, are we going to be taking shots early? Are we going to be looking just to get him in rhythm early? Like what is the confidence level in him in this game? I mean, it's all fine and dandy to sit up on a dais, and say, yeah, we have all the belief in the world, but the play calling and how you choose to use him will ultimately tell us what you think of him in this game early on. And I do think that Arch will be, everyone's focused on last year's game. Everyone wants to ask him about last year, and why is this game going to be different than last year? They couldn't be more different situationally. They couldn't
totally
be, the game itself, the situation, the circumstances couldn't be more different. And I think
Wait, are you making another good? Are you going to sit here and make good points again? Is it going to be that kind of show where you say logical shit, or are we just? Was that an apparition?
I mean, maybe the monkey picture should determine whether you agree or disagree with me today. If it's a an ass take, maybe the monkey makes an appearance on the screen. But I just think that Arch Manning is, if he comes out and has 270. 2-3 touchdowns, a pick. That's a great performance. Like I would have no problem with
notice how
one
Jake, see, again, Jake just saying all the good things, and then the record scratches, and then he's going to throw 7 picks, and they're going to win, and it's a good game. It's a good game, Monty.
No problem with one interception in this game, bro.
But I got to tell you, he's no Eli.
To lose the game, he's
no Peyton.
Dude.
He's no Peyton.
Yeah.
But, he's really good, and he's going to throw 7 interceptions, and they'll win the game, Monty.
Yeah, he's Archie's kid, not Peyton's kid. You know what I mean?
You're such a jerk. You are such a jerk. Listen, I think there is no question. This is one of those games that defines you. This is one of those games where you have there's nothing to even really go over. You have got to find a way. You have got to find a way to play exceptionally well, because Texas isn't going to win without you. And they haven't run the ball well enough to win without Arch Manning being elite, right? And looking at some of his numbers, you start to understand that when he plays well, their defense plays better. There is a direct correlation to his rating and the defensive efficiency at Texas. And I think that's one of the things that you really have to look at. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see if that trend continues. But I have almost no doubt. That Arch Manning is an elite quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and question it. I think it is the game of the week. I think it is everything that you want it to be. And, I am very confident. I am very confident that Arch is going to perform. What right now today, how would you lean numbers wise in his performance?
I think that he'll be 250 plus through the air. I do. And I think that's going to be because of play calling is going to be good. And I think that they will be committed to making sure that he gets in a rhythm early. I think if I'm Texas on the road, all I want to do in this game in the first 2 possessions is just show confidence, right? Hey, we're gonna get completion after completion. We're gonna even if you're just 3 yards down the field, 7 yards down the field,
6 7,
6 7, right? Like, even though that means you suck, apparently, 6 7, just get him in rhythm and get the offense flowing, because what you can't have in this game is first possession 3 and out, first possession, we just don't do anything. Georgia comes out and scores. Now, again, that's assuming that Georgia, is locked in and they're playing their best. But, I think if you're Texas, you have to assume the worst coming from Georgia. They're going to score on their first possession, which means we got to score on our first possession on the road. We have to do that. And if you do, I think there's no telling how many points you could score. I think a great, comp for this game is the Bama-Georgia game from earlier this year. If Texas plays the way that Bama did in that game and is able to move the ball the way Bama did in that game, then they're going to be just fine. But again, that's going to require Arch Manning to have a day, because in that game, Ty Simpson was throwing the ball all over the yard, right? He was proving that's one of the games you're going to look at for his Heisman candidacy this year. People are going to look back at that game and say, yeah, you know what? Like, he was going down the field, he was throwing into the defense, and he got the job done. So that, to me, if I'm looking at this game, if I'm Texas, I'm looking at the Alabama tape, and I'm certainly looking at other games as well. But I think that one really stands out to me.
Yeah, I think just looking at the Alabama game was such again, was it a mirage for Georgia's defense? I mean, you look at some of the numbers out of that game, and you just haven't seen. And I'm not saying that Texas isn't what Alabama. I think Texas's defense certainly is what Alabama's defense is. The question is Arch Manning what Ty Simpson is? Mm-hmm. And the obvious answer is no, he's not. Right. But if you look at Arch Manning and you start looking at some of the numbers about where he fits in and what it is that Arch Manning's doing well, I don't think there's any question that three of his last 4 games, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt, are his 3 best performances of the year. I don't count Sam Houston because who does? I think the Florida game was his worst game of the year by far. I think the middle 8 against Ohio State was the worst quarter of his season. No question about that. But I also think there is a what's the right way to say it? There is a precipitous incline with the way that Arch played against Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, pretty in particular, because there really are no excuses. You're 6-1, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. The aggregate is an 82.9 passing the football, which is unbelievable. And I think the other thing that he's doing less is panic running, right? He's getting more comfortable. The better the defense is, the more he stays in the pocket and is looking for opportunities. He's being mobile. He's not running. He's being a mobile quarterback to get away, to give himself more chances to throw. Like, I like a lot of what I am seeing from Arch, but I also think that there is a lot more opportunity to show here, and I'll be very interested to see how he goes about that. I mean,
well, the reason that I point out the Alabama game is just because we're talking about numbers. Like, yes. Ty Simpson in that game is 276 on a 7.3 yard average with 2 touchdowns and no picks. Now, I'm not saying that because I agree with what you just said, right? It's unfair to be like, hey, well, Arch can do what Ty did. Well, I think that's a little unfair. I think that Ty has for a reason been the front runner in the Heisman for most of the year, and now alongside Fernando Mendoza. However, if Arch can be 270 plus with a pick and 2 to 3 touchdowns, that to me is a recipe for success. I think that with those numbers, you're in a really good place. And again, I just want to remind everybody, that's a 24-21 game. That's not 35-28. That's not like the defenses are too good for that. So that's why I say I just think numbers wise, that's what I'd be shooting for, because I don't think you're throwing for 300 yards on Georgia's defense. But I definitely think that 250 to 270 range is the magic number, because at that point you've been doing what you need to do, right? You've been passing effectively, you've been efficient, you've been in control, and you've been able to manipulate the defense through the air. So I that's what I would be looking for. But ultimately, look, I think that this is Texas's season, man. I mean, this is it. Like, if you lose this game, you're done for. You don't have anything else to play for. Obviously, the conference championship is out of reach, but the CFP altogether is out of reach at that point. And so to me, it's like, this is your hill to die on. This is your hey, we win this one. We've been able to make lemonade, right? We've been able to make chicken salad out of what was a disastrous start.
I also think it's really important to note the offensive line at Texas has been horrendous. I mean, if you look at Arch, blitzed 144 dropbacks, under pressure 122 dropbacks, and when you look at his numbers clean, he's had 186 dropbacks where he was clean, 182 passes, completing 68% of those for a grade of 87.2. Right? But you look at the under pressure number, that pass rating goes from 87 to 62. And you start looking at, he's really thriving when he's kept clean. And he's really thriving when he's blitzed. Arch Manning absolutely eviscerates blitzes. He's a 76.3, and their offense is an 80.5 when they blitz Arch Manning. So I think he's doing things that no other he's dealing with things like Ty Simpson is, I think, 111 dropbacks when he's pressured. I mean, can you imagine Arch Manning if his under pressure, or excuse me, Arch is 126 not blitzed, or when he's blitzed 126 times he's been blitzed, on throws, and that's just astronomical. Ty Simpson is 78 throw attempts where he was blitzed. And again, Arch has 144 dropbacks where he's been blitzed. Ty Simpson's 111. They're stupid video game numbers.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it is going to be very interesting. Well, I hope not, Chewy. Like, are we rooting for Ertz to get hurt? I mean, it is scary he gets hit so much.
Yeah, I mean, he's one bad decision away in this game. I mean, there are games that you can play where it's like, yeah, you're probably going to be fine in this game. If you're just, if you're not an idiot, you may take a hit, but this is not the type of team. If you're not
an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not an idiot and you don't try to take someone on that you shouldn't, you're going to be fine. In this game, I think the guys out there, I think it's a very slim margin. Georgia is so physical. I don't think they're looking to hurt anybody, but just the way they play the game is very physical. And
I would agree.
And he's not a 6'5", just imposing figure at the position. So I do not want to see him running any more than he needs to run. I would like to see him, stay in the pocket, step up a lot, throw the ball away. Because that's what it is. It's not even how he, all the completions, right? I mean, they need to be good, but it's what do you do on the bad plays against Georgia? I mean, if you panic and make a bad decision, that's going to cost you in this game. But I don't think he'll do that. I do think he's maturing a lot in that area.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It just makes me a little nervous that when we start talking about the volume of beating that he's taken and the offensive line. And this also speaks to the running backs evolving in pass protection and blitz pickup as well. I think we don't often talk about that. And I really, truly think that we should talk about that more, because I think it's critically important that people start to understand that blitz pickup is win or lose in the SEC, because your linebacker speed, the time to contact with the quarterback is, I think it's 2.49 seconds in the SEC. It's like 2.6 in the Big Ten. It's over 3 in the Big 12. They're just so much. And I don't know if you call it that it's just better coaching. I think it's better athletes, better schematics, like better training. I just think the SEC and the Big Ten operate on a completely different level with resources than the Big 12 and the ACC universities do. And I think that's why you're seeing it. I mean, it just is, it's wild. All right, let's get to the comments. Matt Grun Egg Big Boo. East Coast to West Coast love. I appreciate the $10, Matt.
Big Boo.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Gronzik. God, I'm probably getting that wrong. Gronzik. Matt Gronzik. Matt, good to see you. Appreciate your contribution to the show. Chewy Gonzalez, Arch Manning has a tiny wiener. Okay.
Wow. I mean, that's just such a productive comment, dude. I mean, wow, bro.
That's going to play a huge factor in the game. Well,
I mean, I'm really glad, Chewy, that you're focused on dude's wiener size versus how he throws the football down the field. I mean, if we didn't have that analysis from you, man, I'm not too sure what the conversation, honestly would even be without you commenting on his wiener size.
His dong?
That's just, his dong size.
Okay, speaking of dong size, I just got my test results.
Macaque.
Wait, test results for what?
So remember I was telling you guys, boy, do I open these during the show? What if I have bad news?
Stop crying like a little girl.
Shut up, Jake.
What are we testing?
So I told you that my blood platelet number was 144. Yes. And my doctor was like sounding the alarm bells. She ordered a platelet test, HIV, 3 hepatitis screens.
Uh-oh.
So it's like nervous time. And I'll be honest with you.
That was a lot.
This has been on my mind for over the entire weekend. I got my blood drawn Saturday morning.
Okay, what are the concerns,
this has been on my mind all weekend.
What
did
I
have fucking AIDS, idiot? That's the concern. She asked me to get an HIV test.
Bro,
right?
Dude.
This isn't like, okay, let's take the state boards for mathematics, Monty.
Good Lord, bro.
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
You asked. But there's no reason.
Negative.
There is no reason for me to believe I have hepatitis or HIV. I want to make that very clear. Your boy ain't out putting it in every wick, putting his wick in every dip, right?
Only fans guy, like, come on, bro. Come on.
All right, let's see. Ooh, I'm nervous, like opening this up. Okay, well, right away, my platelets are way back up. Okay, so we're fine. 158. Okay. So it was an anomaly. So I'm well within the normal range. Let's check the hepatitis test. You're such an idiot.
You're not. You don't have. Dude, you don't have it. There's no way. Unless you've been doing some stuff I don't know about, bro.
Hepatitis isn't necessarily or isn't a sexually transmitted disease, bozo.
That's right.
Negative across the board for hepatitis B. Negative across the board for hepatitis C.
Macaque.
You're such a cock. And negative for HIV. Whew.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in the clear. We're in the clear.
All right.
Whoo.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
No. What is wrong with you guys?
Yay.
Okay, Mr. Jake. Oh, look at the bulge of this golfer, and he got a good package. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Package peeping is not present today.
No, I am not riding dirty, Mike, as much as you would like. The only thing dirty on me is this stupid mustache. Calm down there, Magic. Relax.
Damn, bro.
If the results were bad, Monty could be the robot of the Stop it. Stop it. No, the Magic Show, I guess. That was tense. I was a little nervous. HIV and no hepatitis. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Well, you know how it is. Like, I'm married. I'm not out, like, checking every lock, like socket in town. Like, that's just not how I roll. But, what if you brushed up against a wall the wrong way at the urinal at the mall and stuff? Okay, so we're in the clear. Life is good. Let's settle down. The platelets are back up, which is good.
Yeah, you can sleep tonight, all right? So it's all good.
Dude, it's been some nervous time. I've been thinking about, like, you're pretty certain you don't have HIV, right? But the hepatitis thing, like, why are your blood platelets so low?
Because you had gotten the vaccine. That's why.
I think that's what it is. And now my doctor sends me a message.
Oh dear. Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Let's see. Okay. Hello.
Links and girth.
Hi, Tim. Happy to let you know that your follow-up lab results have come back completely normal. Great news. If you have any questions about the results or would like to discuss them further, please don't hesitate to reach out.
There you go. There you go.
It's over. Life is good. Life is good.
Yeah, did Mrs. Monty make you sleep on the couch till you got the test results back? We have people. Mike is saying that that's what happened.
No. Yay, healthy Monty, right? Yay. Wow, nice. Look at that. Panthers, heels.
Okay.
Yeah, how about Connor McDavid last night?
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it. I'm all into hockey right now, you guys. Like, I'm all into it. Monty's HIV results were like Dana, non-existent. Thank you.
And that's an excellent point right there. Still haven't had proof that Dana's real.
No, we have not. Monty's test results, sponsored by the FDA. Just use a flashlight to kill the germs. And I did.
Everybody gets a test.
Alex Rhea. Let's go. Sagapua Italian stuff. Good thing Monty is fine. Otherwise, I would need to pony up for ESPN again.
Dude, don't even get me started, bro. No, bro.
Should we do that now?
Sure, man. We're going to have to do it at some point, bro.
Yeah, and there's only 6,000 people watching the show, so people won't lose their minds too much. This Pat McAfee thing today has really gotten the ire. And I will tell you, I have multiple friends who work at ESPN, and one of their answers, and I said, what was that? He said, what that was is me sitting in meetings for the rest of the day to talk about it. And people at ESPN are frustrated with Pat McAfee, I think. And it'll be interesting to see what happens, if there will be any blowback. But Pat McAfee, for Veterans Day, had Donald Trump on. And Pat was on location, and he essentially, I think he was at Paris Island. But Pat McAfee was on location today. And he was doing his thing, and then Donald Trump came on, and it really lit people off, dude. People got upset because what do we hear about ESPN? Oh, no politics. Stick to sports, right? Like we hear that. Oh, they're too woke. Stick to sport. And then you put Donald Trump on. And the worst part about this is, and I'm really hesitant to play this clip, but I want to be fair. The worst part is Donald Trump goes on Pat McAfee's show and runs on for 1 minute, unchecked, just spewing most people understand is just complete non-facts.
$17 trillion plus being invested in our country. That's many times more than any country has ever had. We don't want to be wasting time. So they tried to basically renegotiate the great big beautiful deal. They weren't able to get it. And now they said, let's close up our country and we'll see if we can get it. But again, getting it for people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from gangs, from mental institutions, from places that you don't want, and giving them $1.5 trillion in medical costs and things. You just can't do this. You can't do it, and it ruins it for everybody else. So they were not successful in renegotiation, and it looks like it's going to be opened up. But you're right. It's the House has to vote, and then, of course, I have to sign it.
Okay, so once again, I don't know your guys' world. I assume everything you just said there will have some people very pissed about it, and then obviously the rest of the world, United States of America, will be very excited that the government is back open.
I don't pretend to know your world, even though he asked him about the success. It was not good for ESPN, and the reaction was instantaneous. Mm-hmm. And I would say it's 75% negativity and 25% positive pro-Trump. But the hard part is you put he's the president of the United States on Veterans Day. I have no problem with him being on any network. But you can't have him on your network and really not talk about the military and just give him the unfettered platform to run on, and then your host goes on to say,
I will like to say, though, for the immediate people that are going to be mad about that happening, as President of the United States, it's Veterans Day. He's Commander-in-Chief. Obviously, if we have the opportunity to talk to him, we're going to, and he is hilarious.
He's hilarious. And Pat admits he knows nothing about politics. Do you guys understand? This is just bad for ESPN. It's bad for Pat McAfee. It's bad for sports. And I think what you were texting me when Jake and I were watching this interview today, and what did you text me about sports?
It's just dead. I mean, it's dead. Sports talk in this country is dead. And when I say sports talk in this country is dead, what I'm specifically referring to is informed, educated, intentional sports talk. Sports talk where it's more than just, hey, we're a bunch of bros sitting around, right? I'm talking about like sports talk that your generation grew up with, Gen X grew up with, right? I'm talking about, hey, sports talk that defined a generation is dead. And
I would agree.
What really, upset me about this is not even the the politics of Donnie or
you know what you're
going
to get, right?
Yeah,
you know what it's not what he said.
It's not really about that. It's
No.
more about like, dude, I already don't enjoy Pat McAfee, generally speaking, right? Like, I enjoy his game day contribution. I think that's pretty entertaining. I've said I think he's done a great job on that particular product.
I would agree with that.
I don't enjoy the Pat McAfee show, and I really don't enjoy sports talk in our country in general. It's not compelling. It's not deep. It's not thought out. And I am not, obviously, I would be remiss not to point out the fact that it's probably worse for me because we do a sports talk show. So, like, I've done radio, and so I know, hey, like, I know what's going on behind the scenes. I know the type of resources you have access to. I know the type of people you have access to. I know what would be, completely possible for your show. But I also know, because of that, I know what you're not doing. I know that you're shortcutting the show. I know that you're not doing what you should be doing. And so what bothers me is not specifically that Donnie is on his show, but what bothers me is you have the president of the United States on, and it's just a circus of if we're even going to call it an interview. It's put a dude on, and this is Pat's style, right? This is not the first time. It's put a dude on, let that dude talk forever, unchecked, no matter what, false or true. First it was Aaron Rodgers, exactly. It was Aaron Rodgers. Now it's Donald Trump. Like, I just don't know why we call this sports talk anymore. And it's
Veterans
disappointing.
Day. It's Veterans Day. You're at Paris Island. I have no problem putting the president on. Talk about the military. Talk about what the service is like. Talk about how important the military is and what we're doing to support veterans, because I think veterans in this country right now are in a really tough spot. Like, I can think of 1,001 things that you could have done if it wasn't Pat McAfee, who then wants to go on and say Donald Trump's hilarious. But yet I don't, and he knew people were going to be upset because he's well plugged into politics. He knows what happened there. It just is setting us as sports fans up to fail. It's setting his show up to fail. It's setting ESPN up to fail. And I don't understand what the point of this was. I don't understand why we can't just get normal conversation. I totally agree with you. I'll be honest and tell you, it's been nice listening to the Score in Chicago, because all we've been talking about is Cubs free agency, the Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams, what we're doing on the defensive line. Hey, is Noah Sewell a guy that you can sports, right? But the national sports product sucks. I can't listen to Cowherd because he's just not good and wrong about everything he says. You can't listen to Pat because he just is off the reservation 99% of the time. And I just, there's nowhere to go. I'm quite literally on the internet listening to sports talk in Chicago. And it's really, I agree with you, it's frustrating. And then the audience, who was so quick to condemn ESPN and run people out and cancel and
stick to sports. We can't have politics in sports. That's woke.
Yet the president didn't talk about veterans or Veterans Day, and he didn't talk about sports. It's crazy to me.
But you're happy to go on Fox during the Washington Commanders game and lobby to get your name on a building. Okay.
It's just the wrong, it is, and it's not an anti or a pro-Trump thing. It's not the right place for him. It is not the right place for him. I don't know why you would do that. I really don't.
I'm just burned out. I'm burned out on all of it. Like, I'm sick and tired of, like, and maybe this is just me, being at the end of my rope with stuff, but I feel as a sports fan that, times are good when it's easy to watch the sport, and then it's easy to go find good, compelling talk about what you watch. Like,
yes.
that's the ecosystem.
100%.
Hey, Like, dude, like I watched Luka drop 40 against, what was it, Charlotte the other night, and mock their bench, and joke around with Austin Reeves or whatever you're
Nico
watching.
Harrison being fired today, or
BK or whatever your flavor is, right? Whatever you're in the mood for, you should be able to watch it on TV easily without having to go to like 10 different apps. And then you should be able to get up the next day, go about your day, and tune in whenever the time of the show is or whatever, and listen to a well thought out, educated, compelling conversation. And I'll own the fact that I'm a red ass about, industry people not doing a good enough job, industry people not putting enough effort into their thought process and their topic selection and actually building a show. But it's getting old that all we want to do is, in my opinion, cut the corner, right? Because if you think about Pat's show, and Cowherd falls into this a little bit, but specifically Pat, all it is an army of people behind Pat McAfee feeding him a can of topics every day, and then he comes with his 3 or 4 and booking him guests, and then he'll come with his 3 or 4 that he knows off the top of his head he wants to talk about, and they'll just kind of mesh it together. That's the whole deal every single day. My biggest thing is, bro, what good is the army of people behind you if you're not going to do a good job with these interviews? Like, how is it that you're doing bad interviews when you've got like 10 people behind you helping you do a good interview? That's what drives me nuts about it. It's like,
no idea.
How's that possible? How in God's green earth did you do that with the president today? And you had the president of the United States on, and I don't care, again, what your politics are. He's the president on Veterans Day. How do you mess it up? That's what bothers me, dude. We're not getting, oh man, what a great interview by Pat. Like, listen to this question Pat asked the president, and the answer he got, no, we're getting the president's hilarious, and Pat said that he was uninformed on politics. We wonder why
podcasts, and you wonder why we're able to make a living on YouTube, because you guys know when you come here what you're going to get every day. You're going to see pictures of monkeys. I'm going to talk about not having hepatitis, and Jake's going to have on a North Face vest. And we're all going to joke about Dana and Oak State James. And we're going to talk football and macaques, right? Like, that's what is missing. I have no idea what I'm going to get from Pat McAfee, and I hate it. So, Buckeye Nation sports podcasts are the best. There you go. The Real Awkward Guy. I only want sports talk to focus on rectories and HIV tests. Well, there you go. Grodzinski said, or Grodzinski. Now I turned you into Rob.
Who do you think I am?
That
Matt
guy.
said, hey, that fucking guy said, Matt said, Stephen A talks politics, but not on ESPN. He is on Fox News in his own podcast, which we've talked about on the show 1,000 times.
No problem, dude. Dude understands it. Hey, bro, I'm doing sports on ESPN, and I'm doing politics on my thing and on Fox. Okay, Great. Dude, you've segmented it. You're in your own lane. I'm never going to turn your podcast on because I just don't enjoy you, but that doesn't mean you're not free to talk about it and do your thing on your own show. You knock yourself the hell out, dude. That's great.
I'm 100% in for that. More vet friends of mine don't like Trump than like him. Well, again, it's not even a political thing for me. This is not Donald Trump's fault. If you just turn on a mic and shut your mouth, he's going to tell you a bunch of things. He's just going to say the same. He said nothing he said there we haven't heard before 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like nothing. So it isn't even a Donnie issue. This is an ESPN issue. I think this was a huge mistake by ESPN. We just need to get it over with and invite Nick Saban for president. Well, that could happen. Kurt Myers
is a better man than you are.
What is James' new logo and handle today? I don't know. TCU James is not here today for some reason.
But Dana was here earlier.
Okay. Dana was here earlier. This is ESPN trying to end the consumer shutdown of their day-to-day product they're peddling. Well, but Google continues to to control that. Like there's a bunch of new reporting today that, and I know you guys hate when I say I told you so. What's the new reporting about why ESPN, Disney, and Google don't have an agreement? Because Disney thought they had an agreement with Google. And get on the internet, it's all out there. And Google came back at the 11th hour and changed the agreement.
I got the YouTube TV.
Last Thursday night, according to sources, Disney and Google had a deal as far as Disney believed. And then when it came time to put pen to paper, the deal changed. And Google continues to ask ESPN to pay more than any other carrier that they deal with. They want Disney to pay more money. And they don't. The other thing here is they don't want ESPN to broadcast all of their events on DTC, on the app, because they want exclusive events on YouTube TV, and ESPN won't do it.
Pay for that, bro.
But they won't, and they want ESPN and Disney, ABC, Hulu, your mom, all the Disney content. They want Disney to pay significantly higher fees than any other distributor, and Disney's not willing to do it. ESPN needs to replace Pat with Big Daddy Magic and James, and I've been saying that.
Yeah,
that's a drop that we used to play. We used to play drops on the show. We don't anymore.
Right.
It is what it is. Mike Smith, Monty, Trump does not care about the military or the vets other than to serve his own selfish ideas. Okay.
It's actually not that easy, but for me, it was easy.
Okay. Would have been better having J.J. Watt handing out checks to Wounded Warrior Project. Certainly it would have.
Agreed.
Goldfinger, where have you been? I like local and Joel Klatt for college football. I like Joel Klatt a lot. We don't agree often, but I like Joel Klatt a lot. Shut and dribble, damn it. Shut up and dribble. Exactly. I think these networks just want safe clickbaity style content. Draw the larger casual crowd, then catering to a more dedicated sports fan. The only talk about highly rated topics. It is.
Well, they're playing to the masses. There's no question.
If you look at the money that ESPN has rolled into the NFL, I mean, you can't. Is it any wonder why they pay so much attention to the NFL on a daily basis? Get Up is entirely an NFL show.
Yeah,
I mean, right? It's incredible. Chad Perling, if they rename the stadium after Trump, then they have to rename the team. Okay. Guardian pitchers indicted. We're going to get to Mr. Clase today. The video is damning. This gambling thing. Do you guys understand this gambling thing is pervasive? It is everywhere. It is not. I don't think there is any question that this gambling thing is in every corner of the sports universe. And
yes.
This may, and we can get to this in a few minutes, but this gambling thing is scary that we can't believe anymore anything that we hear or see in news or sports. You just can't believe it. You can't believe that what you're seeing on the field, the court, in the pool, on the track, that it's legitimate. We are now in a place where we are going to question every incomplete pass. We are going to question every bricked three-pointer. Is Wardell on the take? Did you see that thing? Like it's going to be every single time. Any of these dudes bounce a pitch at the plate. Any of these dudes fumble a football. It's now going to be, well, somebody's paying them.
How much did he make for that one, Monty?
And where does it end? And the problem is, this is very much the Donald Trump, Pat McAfee conversation. You can't trust what any politician in this country says anymore. You just cannot take them at face value. You cannot take their word for anything. And as Americans, we're the ones footing the bill for that. As sports fans, we're the ones fitting the bill for that. As if you want to go play in a card game, if you want to go to a casino, how do you trust it anymore? How do you trust it? I don't trust it. And you guys will think I'm full of shit. I'm not. I love playing cards.
Yeah.
I love to play blackjack. I love to play Hold'em. It is one of my favorite things to do, and I will never do it again now. I will never do it again. I'm here for the deep invested analysis of stadium upper decks, Michigan hate, and roller taquito talk. Well, that's all Jake. That's all Jake. Well, my guy Marcus.
Taquito talk.
My guy Marcus, who again is and I obviously I'm not going to tell you which network, but he is a highly placed sports network executive. The problem is Pat betrayed his average viewer today because they know no better. They take what he says and what his guests say as gospel. He used that against his average viewer today. That's the problem with this for the boys in Bristol. And I agree with that.
Yeah, but
do you think the average viewer of the Pat McAfee show has any idea if Donald Trump is telling the truth or not?
No.
Probably not.
But I don't know. Are we saying it's even that deep? I don't even think people care about what Donnie said. Honestly, I think they care about what I think they care about the fact
he's the
that
president of the United States, though.
Yeah, but I think we're giving people a lot of credit there. I think people are pissed that he was on the show and politics bled into sports. People don't want politics on a sports show. They just don't. And that's why, like on our show, we're pretty picky and choosy about what politics we do and what politics we don't do. And I just think that having, in my opinion, like I don't disagree with what Marcus is saying, but at the same time, the issue was not what Donnie said. The issue is that you thought it would be a good idea to have him on, and that wouldn't piss people off, that wouldn't upset people.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt it matters if your listeners can count on you. It is, I think it matters. I think it, and I'm a big evangelist for that you have to pay your brand off every single day. You guys get paid? Wow. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. TJ Beckwith, don't forget about BDM. I mean, his comments, exactly. He sent me another video yesterday. CJ Vance, what's up, CJ? Totally agree. Sports talk is unlistenable now. I've tried a couple of times for a few minutes, but honestly, it's a waste of time. They do just seem like a bunch of bros rambling.
Because what they do is they roll up to the station every day and they just turn it on. They don't know. Because here's the deal. It's one thing to be like, oh, yeah, we're like, this is my issue with the boys in Salt Lake. All right. Anybody in Salt Lake doing sports talk, any of them. Hey, we're just going to roll up and talk Jazz today. Oh, we're just going to roll up and talk, we're going to talk, we're going to talk about whatever's hot. Okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
But you know what that makes you do? CJ, you know what that makes those guys do? It makes them go in circles and they don't have any direction. They don't have any point they're trying to make. They don't they're filling time instead of having a driven conversation. Do you understand how easy it is for us right here to do 15 minutes? Do you understand that we could easily do like an 8-hour radio show, 7-hour radio show? Like we could
I agree.
It's not hard, bro. Like with 15 to 20 minute, like if you just ran a quarters traditional radio clock, dude, we could do, honest to God, I could sit here with a pad of paper and write out like probably, I mean, in the 3 hours, you got what is it? Not, you got, what do you got? Like 12 segments or whatever it is. We could do 1 million of those, dude. It's not hard, but it just requires that you're not, it just requires effort and being plugged in and trying. And people don't. And I know that's hard to believe, but they don't. I
think and we've talked about this for our Salt Lake friends. I said the other day, like, we legitimately get calls on a probably twice yearly basis at this point. When we were in Salt Lake City at Maverick Center, we would get a call a month. Hey, why don't you come consider doing hey, come work for us. Hey, let's work. Hey. And there's just no reason to do it. I agree, it's lazy. McAfee is Dave Portnoy light. What did you guys think of that Dave Portnoy thing the other day? Because Dave Portnoy is doing one of his pizza reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy walked by and yelled an anti-Semitic slur at him. And the guy was actually arrested for it. You didn't necessarily agree with that. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I just what I said is Dave is always involved in something, whether it's his fault or not. The guy is always in some kind of drama or some kind of issue. Half of the pizza review thing is that he pisses off the owner of the pizza shop, in my opinion, because we see it all the time. It's got to be once a month that one of these videos comes out. It's got to be, I mean, it's with regularity that I see it. And it's not daily or weekly, but it is enough where it's like, oh, yeah, we got another one of these. This time, though, bro was yelling anti-Semitic things at Dave, so everyone freaked out about it. It wasn't good enough just to call him an a-hole. He had to go that route with it. So I don't know. I that's what I'm talking about, though. Like the concept, if you said, hey, well, we want to do, now that we're on Fox, we want to keep doing the pizza thing, the pizza place thing. We want to go and review pizza joints. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It's a huge part of what he does.
Yeah, all right. In theory, that sounds great. But the issue is that the moment you don't like one, you're going to be a red ass about it, and then they're gonna come out and complain.
But listen, he's in Starkville, Mississippi. He is standing on the patio of a pizza place, doing his pizza stick, and a kid runs or walks by and throws coins at him and yells, F the Jews. He should be arrested for that. And he was for disorderly conduct, or I think disturbing the peace, disturbing the peace. And he should be. Like, I think it's this kind of stuff that we can't normalize. I don't think this is Dave Portnoy's fault. Is he part of that culture? Yes. Barstool has repeatedly embraced shitty behavior and mean people speak. I'm not going to go as far as to say hate speech, but mean people speak for certain. For certain. But this is not cool. This is not.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't think it's cool. I just think that he doesn't help himself at all.
Chewy for $5. Monty, it's quid pro quo. If Pat has Trump on as a guest, he turns voters onto him for support. If Trump mentions Pat, he gets more viewers. I don't think that's incorrect. Donald Trump told Pat McAfee today, I heard you say nice things about me. That's why I'm coming on the show. Keep saying nice things about me. I'll come on the show. Don't say nice things or say mean things about me, and I won't come on the show.
And then what did Pat say? I agree with you.
Like I agree. It's a quid pro quo. Hard work beats talent. Well, yes, Matt. Pat is good for the West Virginia brand and gives props to the Big 12 regularly. One good thing about him, he does support West Virginia, and he's an alum. Pat is not. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. One thing with that, though, that I think is something that maybe Pat doesn't consider, or maybe a lot of us don't consider. I don't think that anyone under the age of 20 right now knows that Pat went to West Virginia and barely knows that he played in the NFL. They know him as a talk show host, not a football player. And I don't think as we get older, we as people like to acknowledge the fact that the athletes that we grew up loving in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, that's not the same viewpoint that the 18-year-old sports fan has anymore. That's just not what it is.
Correct.
So
yeah, I don't. I think and this to Mike's point, I think Pat's done great things for West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. He's a buffoon. I think you're probably talking about Portnoy, right? I honestly do not think I've ever watched a minute of Portnoy. I don't believe I have either. I don't think I've watched some of his stuff, like the pizza stuff I've seen, but I can't say I've ever watched a Dave Portnoy show. I don't know that he does a show, but I don't, like, as soon as Big Cat Barstool Assface did his whole I'm not really from Chicago, I just want to capitalize on saying I am thing, he was dead to me. And that whole platform was dead to me. So, I just, Yeah, I can't say I've seen that either. Trump should come on the show, Grim, since it's been nothing short of a campaign rally over here. Well, and you guys will say I'm a liar. I would not put him on the show. I would not have him on the show. I would not. Gooby, how has Pat endorsing West Virginia worked for them so far? They've been a joke in the Big 12. Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
It's not Pat's fault, though, dude.
No, he doesn't. It's not like he's donating enough money to make them Texas Tech. Monkey Man P2M. Now, that face looks vaguely familiar to
me. How many burners can one bro have? Can I just ask this question?
You're telling never me this cease
isn't
to amaze
another
me.
James Burner right here.
You guys never cease to amaze me. Chewy, stop normalizing douchebag men. Well, unfortunately, I went full douche. I'm wearing you guys, come on now. I'm wearing my Lulu pants today. Are you kidding me right now?
When are you going to debut the Louis bag on the show?
No time soon, but I got to tell you, these Lulu pants, they are not worth what they charge you. I can comfortably tell you that. They're not cheap. They're so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like that ballroom is huge. It is. The awkward guy. I've only watched him when he appeared on Bar Rescue. Did not even know he was on Bar Rescue. Did not know that. I can't. Have you ever seen a Portnoy podcast? I don't think I have either.
But I'm not a big Barstool guy.
I don't think either one of us have ever been.
Yeah.
I used to be full in on Pat. I have watched a lot of Pat McAfee.
But what changed? Because it's hard to. I feel like a lot of people have trouble saying what changed for them. It just sort of happened. I feel like
I run out of patience for his bullshit, like the nonsense, the constant meandering, the uninformed, anything not football. Pat McAfee is. And normalizing bad behavior. That's what changed. Pat would, in my opinion, he'd put Jeffrey Dahmer on and ask him how to season the human, right? Like, and just think it's funny. And it started changing with Aaron Rodgers going on there and doing his conspiracy theory stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps going. And then you ask him about Ryan Smith and all this new arena and the interviews with people doing bad things and not checking them. And then after the interview where somebody says horrendous shit on his show, he's like, well, I'm just not in that world. He's on your show. It's your job to know what he's going to talk about.
Yeah. And
Pat routinely will allow people to come on his show and just say hurtful, wrong, damaging stuff. Constantly. And it's why I stopped listening to Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan does the exact same thing. Knowingly allows people to come on his show, in my opinion, and say stuff that's wrong. And it's Donald Trump today. You cannot do that. You have the largest sports talk platform in the world. And you're not willing to do homework. And then you know that people said bullshit and you're like, well, I'm just not in their world. So come on. That's where he lost me. Pat doesn't really bother me. He's got the energy the show needs, which is what his job is, I guess. But it is why, in my opinion, Pat finds himself on the hot seat everywhere he works. Because you just get, trust me, I've been in this game for 30-something years. You can't constantly be a pain in the ass because there's just not enough money. There's not enough money to justify the problems that Pat causes for his employer. And then when he got independent and he figured out how hard it is to be Notre Dame, then it's like, well, okay. Now I'm going to go work for somebody.
Now I better start allowing people to say whatever they want on my show, so that way I can do what I need to do.
Yeah. Goldfinger, Pat standing up and offering to pay for those costs when ESPN tried to make cuts to their travel staff was definitely honorable. Well, but he's been together with his team for how long?
And how does not paying his staff or allowing that to happen to his staff help him?
The thing and there have been obviously cost cutting at Disney across the board. And I don't know the details, the true details of it. We all know what's been out there and what's been put into the ethos. But you look at the shows that he is on, he takes good care of all of his people. There is no question that Pat is loyal as the day is long. And the game day thing is very interesting. Because post-pandemic, ESPN laid off a lot of people. A lot of people. And obviously that was not unique to ESPN. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Pat is bad to work for. You don't want to work with him. Because nobody works with him. You just kind of operate around him. The folks at ESPN are operating around him. The people at Barstool operated around him. And it's problematic. He is not easy. If you're in his employ, you're fine. If you're Boston Connor or their back of the house staff, you're fine. If you're any of the executives at ESPN, if you're the ESPN producers of his show, because Pat has his producers, ESPN has their producers, their fact checkers, their source verification process, all that stuff. You don't want to be those people. Because I can tell you there is horror about what happened on their network today. And it's not the seventh time. Right? It's over and over again. So it's difficult. K. Smitty, I don't share your thoughts on Rogan. I've seen him debate plenty of people that spew filth that he disagrees with. Like the Aaron Rodgers stuff is a great example. Aaron Rodgers talking about like deep state and like you can't just put people on and not be ready for what they're going to say. What is the point of, and maybe they don't, I don't know. I can tell you when I worked for Jim Rome, for instance, I booked all of his guests essentially. He knew exactly what he was going to ask, and we asked him, and we knew almost exactly the answer before they ever gave it. It's called preparation. And that does not appear to happen. You know. Now Trump will host Pat on his super popular Truth Social. Maybe. You know. I hear you, Monty, but imagine if Pat wasn't on game day going to listen to Crypt Keeper Saban drone on for hours. I don't even disagree. Pat's great on game day. I have no problem with the Pat McAfee who hosts College Game Day.
Yeah, if it was just Pat on game day and Pat's show wasn't on ESPN, we wouldn't be talking about this.
Goldfinger, it was game day staff, not his show. What do you mean? Like the travel thing? Yeah, it was, but they also don't want to travel in a lot of situations. Pat goes to all of the game day locations, obviously. They don't want to travel his entire staff. AJ Hawk doesn't want to travel, but it's just that there's a whole thing with Pat and the people behind the scenes at ESPN that just doesn't need to exist. Why doesn't ESPN do anything about the stuff Ryan Clark says? Well, they do. What do you mean? Ryan Clark has routinely been slapped by ESPN. And Ryan Clark's got one of the biggest sports talk podcasts on the planet. He has been routinely slapped by ESPN.
And routinely issued public apologies.
Yes. Constantly. You know. Do you still watch ESPN there as one-sided as CNN or Fox?
See, now this is something I've never understood. How does this work? Because they don't really do politics. So what do you mean they're as one-sided as it gets? Are you saying they lean more SEC? Is that what you're saying? Or like what What
does
are we
that
saying?
mean?
Yeah.
And give me detail and I'll tell you. Because you're right. I watch Get Up in the morning and Sports Center at night. And then it depends on what they have. I watch college football. I watch the NHL either on Prime Video or Connor McDavid last night was just
filthy.
So good. That's on Prime Video on Monday nights. But ESPN Plus, if you're an ESPN subscriber, you get every NHL game. Right? So I watch sports. I don't watch First Take. First Take is a dreadful product.
But
it is a terrible show.
Like this one-sided ESPN thing, as an example. Like, I don't invest in ESPN sports talk. I invest in ESPN live sports programming. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the games. I'm here for the Connor McDavid or, whatever I'm in the mood for. That's the thing that ESPN fills in my life. Right? Like I'm not here. I literally have never woken up and been like, man, I wonder what Screaming A's got to say about this.
Wait, did you just say you're woke? You're woke?
Yeah. I'm woke as hell. Let me turn on Screaming A or Ryan Clark. That's what? No. Like,
yeah, I'm with you. I want I want to listen to Scott Van Pelt talk to big stars. I want to look at sports highlights, and I want to hear breakdowns of football games. That's my use of ESPN. Like it is everything else I get from different podcasts. I love the word voracious. I read a ton. So, oh boy. There's Dana Marie. Funny again, Dana was here.
Look at who just commented at the bottom. Look at that.
There he is.
Don't tell me this isn't another James Burner, bro. Come on.
ESPN does for the ESPN what Fox and CBS do for the Big. It does. You're gonna promote the Big 12 and the SEC. Why would you not?
Yeah, and why
those
is that
are
such
your
a controversial
partners.
thing? Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot of problems. Washed up quarterback and below average head coach who is protected by the Rooney Rule. How is he protected by the Rooney Rule?
That's got to be one of the dumbest takes I've ever heard, dude.
Do you know what the Rooney Rule is? Hello? Like, that's one of the stupidest things you've ever said. I watch the first 5 minutes of First Take every day, and if Stephen A is on, I turn the channel. If he's not, I change the channel. I don't even bother with Wednesdays. I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. He oh, well.
Dude, okay. Hold on. We have 2 comments up. We have full diversion effort by James here. What did I miss? James, that's your excuse. What did I miss? And now we've got Pixar Mom. We've got, Macaque Boy here at the bottom. Like, dude, you've got 3 burners working in 7 comments here. Come on, bro.
James, always good to see you, my friend. I am happy you're here. All right, let's reset. Let's get into this LSU football situation. Folks, it is a disaster. There is no question about it. Is LSU still one of the most attractive jobs in all of college football? Let's talk about it in 30 seconds after this from the Advocates.
You're not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the Advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
Yes, you do. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And I can only tell you that when you're in a bad way, you've been in an accident at work, you got in a car accident, maybe you got hit by a semi, you guys, you need to do business with good people. And one of the things that I love about the Advocates, they're good people to do business with. They care about their communities, every one of them, whether it's San Diego, Washington State, Arizona, Phoenix, obviously Salt Lake City and the entire state of Utah, Idaho, Montana, anywhere that you're injured, anywhere you need an injury attorney, get to theadvocates.com, because when you're fighting your insurance company, you need somebody who knows how to fight your insurance company. The Advocates have fought that fight. More importantly, they've won that fight. Let them win for you. Clear, risk-free advice, and it won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. I'm just going to hand this over to Jake, because Jake is for certain that LSU is damaging their coaching brand with this nonsense today.
Full tinfoil hat situation happening at LSU, bro. So I just have one question for LSU after everything that's gone down before this whole Brian Kelly lawsuit settlement situation developed.
And stuff.
Such as and like. So BK gets fired. We have the AD situation. We've all been speculating about who's going to take this job. Now we've gone full circle backwards in the wrong direction, because now we're not concerned about who's taking the job. We're concerned about what LSU wants to pay Brian Kelly to not coach football. And this is I was pondering this last night. I'm sitting on the couch, flipping around, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you can't tell me that LSU hasn't heard any of the noise and is not at all cognizant of the fact that this looks bad, just generally speaking. Number one. But then number two, why would it come out publicly that there's this issue around, whether BK was fired for cause or not, or whether he was actually fired or not? Because there hasn't been, and please, in the comments section, if you know of a case in college football, you tell me and you educate me. But in my homework and looking around, I was unable to find a case where a coach had been fired and a school was able to legally get out of the buyout altogether after the fact. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, then why would they be doing this? Well, in my opinion, you're doing this. The only thing that could be going on here is you have some type of leverage over Brian Kelly to have the balls to take this public. Because what else would it be? You have a contract. This is contract law. You're not getting out of this situation. So beyond the fact that you guys all look like buffoons, you look like idiots, you look terrible at business management, this is an absolute disaster. You can't tell me there is not way more going on with this situation behind the scenes than LSU just simply doesn't want to pay Brian Kelly. There's a difference between not wanting to pay a dude and having leverage over him, whether that's, stuff that happened during his tenure. I mean, who the hell knows? But there has to be more to this than, hey, we don't want to pay you 53 million, and we're going to offer, I believe the offer was 25 million initially. That's a slap in the face, dude.
Here's what's happening. LSU, in court filings from Brian Kelly's attorneys, they had a meeting at LSU to fire Brian Kelly. And when you start to get into the machinations of this nonsense, you quickly understand that LSU is looking to change course because they simply don't want to pay this buyout. And the most important thing is the meeting on October 26th. This is the meeting where Brian Kelly, allegedly now we have to say, where Brian Kelly was allegedly, such as and like, fired in a meeting with Mr. Woodward, at the time the athletic director, Julie Cromer, Austin Thomas, and Verge Osbury, who is now the athletic director. In this meeting, LSU terminated Coach Kelly, acknowledging that this termination was without cause. Huge sentence.
Allegedly.
Coach Kelly, but you don't even have to say allegedly. This is what's being charged against them by Brian Kelly. Coach Kelly confirmed the substance of this meeting to Mr. Woodward later that day and noted that he would be, quote, open to LSU's desire to reach a settlement, but it had to, quote, make sense financially. Well, in the same meeting, Mr. Woodward informed Coach Kelly that LSU wished to enter into negotiations to replace the liquidated damages in the agreement with one or more accelerated payments of mutually agreeable amounts that would not be subject to offset, which means we're going to pay you a lump sum, and it doesn't matter if you look for a job or not, or if you get a job, we're still going to pay you the lump sum of $25 million, and the elimination of the agreement's provisions pertaining to mitigation and offset liquidation damages. Later that day, in a call with Ms. Cromer and Matt Laborde, LSU increased its offer to 2 installments representing a total payment of $30 million, and again including elimination of mitigation and offset provisions. To which now LSU is saying that they don't want to pay Brian Kelly pretty much at all because they were firing him for cause. This is a really bad look for LSU. And what it says is, A, you're broke. They're not. But what it says is you don't value the people who are working for you, and that you'd rather screw Brian Kelly over than pay him. And I think it makes it very difficult for any coach to take that job and feel good about taking that job over, I don't know, say the Florida job or the soon-to-be vacant Florida State job, which I think are on par with the LSU job now. That's how far I think this has fallen in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
I think LSU has fallen a couple of rungs down now that these filings have come out. Brian Kelly won. They are going to have to pay him because you would have to have him being Sanduskified to somebody. You would have to have him being car wash guy. You'd have to have him committing some incredible offense, a crime, moral turpitude. Did he bang somebody else? I don't know. But you never once, according to Brian Kelly, brought up any cause that you were firing him for other than the football program wasn't winning games, which is not cause to fire him.
And that's why I say, that's why I'm like, hey, this is either stupidity on full display,
and that very well could be. That very well could be.
It's either that or LSU feels that they have leverage of some variety that is not public knowledge yet, and they feel that that's how they can work a settlement with him. Because I can tell you right now, Brian Kelly's not taking a $30 million payout on a $53 million number. That is absolutely not happening ever. And if it does happen, now I got to start asking questions. And that's why I say it's just as worse as it could possibly be. If I'm Lane Kiffin, LSU's out. I'm not going to LSU. It just is what
it's over.
It's over. I'm not. You're off my radar. You're off my list. If I'm leaving Ole Miss, I'm going to Florida. If Lane likes the Florida State job, maybe that's on his radar. But if I'm Lane Kiffin personally, if it's me, I'm either staying at Ole Miss or I'm going to Florida. Those are the two paths, and that's pretty much it.
And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of coaches who will not even talk to LSU until this Brian Kelly matter is settled. As a matter of family,
coaching
as a matter of respect, as a matter of decorum, you would not talk to a university that is suing a coach or is forcing the coach to sue them because now they're trying to fire him for cause after they fired him for being a shitty football coach.
Family.
So, and you can say what you want about Brian Kelly or not. If LSU were to somehow fire Brian Kelly post for cause, this would be a really bad precedent for a university to set.
Yes.
And I don't think that there is any way this happens.
And by the way, this also cements the fact as to why head coaches want buyouts, right? This is just digging the hole deeper for hey, I need an insurance policy if you guys go full whack job on me and don't want to pay my buyout if you decide to fire me. I mean, that's what this is doing. And I understand that the $53 million number is a big number, but you should have thought about that before you hired, dude. I mean, that's like, I'm not trying to be harsh, but that's the reality of the situation. You made a decision. You made a business decision to do this deal and sign that contract with BK, to the point, let's not forget, where you were proud. You were flexing on Twitter at the governor's office about how it was BK and the people of Louisiana paying this buyout.
Family.
So miss me with, oh yeah, man, wow, Brian was fired for cause and we don't have to pay for anything. No, actually, he wasn't fired for cause. He was fired because he was an underwhelming football coach as usual, but you don't want to pay the guy. Like, I hate this for college football. I truly despise it.
Well, and you kind of took the wind out of my sails there. I hate what college football's become. It's a money game now, right? And not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but the offshoot, the unintended consequences of college football becoming a money game is that guys like Brian Kelly, people like LSU, people like the scumbags up north, they cheat and get rewarded with a national championship. And we're supposed to just believe this is just business. Like this, everybody's doing it. No, they're not. Everybody's not doing it. And I refuse to give in to this nonsense of everybody's doing it. I refuse to give in to it. And I think, in my opinion, I think the biggest issue here is that this is just not how you treat people. And Brian Kelly can be a terrible coach. Pay him what you contractually are obligated to pay him. You don't like the Mountain West? Go to the Pac-12, but you're going to pay what your contract says you need to pay to get there.
Yes.
Only they won't do that.
Yes.
Because that's not who we are anymore. Right? It just is, Maury Alvarez, unfortunately not in Florida yet. Looking forward to when the Advocates come here. Well, there you go. There you go. James burner account system powered by Sybil Tech.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
James, are they in your group? Yeah. Are you charting for the monkeys? I have no burners. I don't believe you. I just had a meeting with my advisor, headed home. Okay. Drive carefully.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Drive carefully. I want all the LSU smoke. Okay. Kurt Myers, I thought the governor took over the LSU coaching job. He tried to, and then everybody was like, nah, dude, you're stupid.
You don't know ball.
Oak State James, LSU's a dumpster fire. Look who's talking. Goldfinger, the whole situation reeks of Landry sticking his head where it doesn't belong. He talked about taxpayers paying the buyout, which is false too. It's wild. What, you mean a politician was either uninformed or lied? I don't believe that. There has been cases where the university and the coach might negotiate a bit, but never just not paying at all. Exactly right.
Yeah, agreed.
Phil Venzer, you angry son of a biscuit. Good to see you, Phil. Hope you're feeling good today. Did Baylor get out of paying off Art Briles? First of all, Art Briles constantly catches strays in these conversations. Justifiably so. Right? Off the top of my head, so please don't crucify me if I'm wrong.
You don't know ball, Monty. Come on.
I believe that Art Briles was suspended with the intent to terminate for cause and then was terminated for cause. So I believe that's how that went down. Oof. Yeah, LSU went from one of the best jobs to one of the worst because that governor and the people running things at LSU, right, Nacho? I mean, it was a good job, and then the governor started talking, and
then it was a bad job, and such as and like.
The Drake drop shit was going good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. No, it's not. It was. It was.
Because shit's going good.
Yeah, then Kendrick Lamar showed up at the Super Bowl, and everything went bad.
It's Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Thank you.
Yeah.
He sounds like Drake.
He does. He does. He absolutely
Honest question from Smitty. Is it normal for a school to offer a settlement for buyout to others? Yes. Yes. I can't remember ever hearing that before. It happens all the time. And coaches are happy to pay. Coaches are happy to pay a rebate, essentially, because if they owe you $50 million and they're going to pay that over the course of, Shohei Ohtani's contract, right? Like it's going to get deferred and paid on schedule. And but if you negotiate that down to 30, we'll pay you in 2 lump sums over the next 6 months. You're going to do that. I can have 30 million now or 50 million over a decade. Give me the 30 million now. I'll figure out how to make it last. Because you hand somebody 30 million instead of 50, I can turn 30 into 100.
But if you're Brian Kelly in principle alone, you're not doing that now.
No, now it's the full thing. Because you're trying to say that Brian Kelly committed an act in violation of his contract.
And I just think that Brian's not the kind of guy to walk away from a fight, in my opinion. The guy's always been happy to be a red ass, and we know he's got that in him. And I just think, I really do think that comment you made about coaches not showing interest just out of respect for Brian and the coaching profession.
Yeah,
I do think that is a pretty big underlying storyline here. Like, nobody's going to take that job right now. But then second to that, Brian Kelly, in my opinion, has a responsibility to dominate LSU in this position and set a precedent for his fellow head football coach at the Power 4 level. And if he doesn't do that, but I think he will, but if he doesn't do that, to me, that's irresponsible and just a complete lack of any type of, responsibility or whatever word you want to use. It's just a total lack of vision towards where the coaching profession is going. I mean, this is as more money. What's the old saying? More money, more problems. Hey, we went from not paying any type of money to kids making money, coaches making a ton more money, and now we have these problems that we have to deal with, which inherently means that guys like Brian Kelly, who underachieve every single year and never win national championships, will end up getting screwed, or people try to screw them out of their buyout.
Yeah.
So now he's got a responsibility to make sure that he gets his buyout, that he proves a point inside of contract law. And if I'm him, not that anybody would take you anytime soon, but now I'm just chilling. Now I'm taking a year off and enjoying life because dude's already a millionaire. So all this is just proving a point.
Just reading the filing, I would encourage you guys to go read the filing. It sounds to me like they're trying to tear him down to save money. That's what it feels like to me. But, Goldfinger, LSU needs to be careful before they get sued on top of having to pay the buyout. This mess will not get better for them. There's no way it improves. You're exactly right. Totally agree. LSU, pay your goddamn bills.
Boy.
Negotiate and get it up.
Okay. Bro.
Why would you say something like that? This is a family show.
Family program. Bro.
Stay hard. This is a family show.
Stay hard.
Right? Work with me, Jake.
Family.
I didn't see the end. I never read the full comment from James. Negotiating, get it up to 30 million. Okay. My bad. 50 million does not make sense financially to the governor. How about 5 million and we never see each other again? Okay.
Yeah. Wow, man. Just take 1-0 away and we're fine.
No one wants to coach in the SEC. Yeah, no.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I mean, bro's only going to make $53 million,
What are you talking about? At this point, Mike Gundy and LSU seem like a match made in heaven.
Yeah. I mean, right? Just cut his salary.
I'm a man.
Oh, my God.
And everything's good, dude.
So good.
Fine.
It took it from the best job in college to what, maybe 10th? Well, I mean, no job is as bad as the pedophilia facilitators.
Yeah, the knuckle deep boys.
But I think now it depends. Florida or Florida State? Because they're going to fire Mike Norvell. I mean, they talked about it Saturday night. They legitimately, I heard on Sunday morning, hey, they wanted to fire Norvell last night and couldn't get the votes done. So he's as good as gone.
Yeah.
Florida or Florida State?
I'm taking Florida, but
Okay.
I don't disagree. It's a conversation.
Yeah. It was never the best job in college football. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
What do you mean, dude?
LSU probably thought they would get him to take a big pay cut, and when he said no, they changed tactics. I think that's probably exactly right. I would imagine coaches' agents would advise against talking to LSU for now as well. I would think so. Jake, why is Monty's shot blinking? My shot is blinking?
Every once in a while, but it's not consistent, and it hasn't been a lot.
Yeah. Stupid StreamYard.
Yeah.
Just cause for fake accent. I think that is just cause.
Yeah.
Thank God for the Monty Show. Thank you. James, as a man who's got
Family.
direct access to Jesus and his papa, I appreciate that. Good afternoon, Oh, wait, there's more to the comment. My bad. I never read James' full comment. I'm stuck in traffic on I-35 West. Okay. I love Jake's take on this. See, Jake? And he loves that you're wearing a purple shirt today.
So-called experts.
Bro, I don't have a purple shirt on. Sorry, bro.
It looks purple. Shut up. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Late to the party, Sergeant.
What's up,
Good to see you. Hope you are enjoying your Veterans Day. Who will coach LSU now? Billy Napier? It's an interesting. They need to get this done quick. While you're stuck in traffic, James, oh boy, open the trunk and let Dana out. Republicans always complain government overreach, yet here they are overreaching into a state institution. It's what we argued about yesterday on the show. It is what it is. I think Gruden takes the LSU job. Can you take that risk? I don't think he can. James is talking snake charming. Okay.
Okay.
Big Blue Horses. LSU is not going to like the way this goes. It's a bad look. LSU clearly isn't a better job than Florida. I think clearly is correct.
Yeah.
I think if the governor had shut his face and we never heard anything else about Brian Kelly, best job in college football available. Well, and then all this happened, and now I think Florida versus Florida State's a fascinating conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating conversation. I don't know where that goes. BK went golfing too. It's his just cause. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe him and Hugh Freeze can, hit the links,
This traffic is horrible.
Bro, dude, it's your burner. Why won't you just admit it? Just admit that this is your burner, bro.
This is either James's burner or a phenomenal troll job. You can't.
With all due respect.
I think, again, how is this anything other than another accidental James from the wrong account? This is so bad, even Mike Gundy will say no to LSU. Is Velveeta cheese? Well, how many holes are in a straw? You got to answer that question first.
Is cereal soup?
I'm genuinely intrigued with all the high-profile jobs coinciding simultaneously with a dearth of available proven high-end coaches.
Okay.
What is the best available job?
Florida.
I tend to agree with that. I think, God, I don't even know. Florida State, one of those two. I think that's the only way you can look at it. But if I just look at the P4 jobs, right? And I say, I think Florida's number one. What's open right now? Florida, number one. LSU or Penn State?
Penn State right now.
Florida 1, Penn State 2.
Auburn?
I was going to say LSU or Auburn. Probably LSU. And then it falls off. I mean, Oak State's a really bad job. I think Va Tech's a really bad job. I think Arkansas, depends on who you believe.
What about UCLA with the stadium situation?
Oh, Jesus. We talked about this the other day. Did you guys hear about this? Oh, my God. The Rose Bowl operating committee is suing UCLA. And it's been alleged.
Allegedly.
And when we get in, where's my banner for that? When we get into UCLA, all you guys have been telling me, oh, Monty, UCLA's a poverty program, boy. They ain't got no money, boy. Goddamn Gavin Newsom and those taxes, boy. Okay, well, it turns out that they're willing to pay up to $65 million after this season to move to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
Oh.
But Monty, I thought you said that they were a poverty program and, they didn't have any money. I mean, how can we have it both ways?
I'm not even sure how the Rose Bowl survives. I don't even, honest to God, if UCLA leaves the Rose Bowl, I think they're in so much trouble. And if you look at UCLA's buyout of that lease, it is probably $65 million after this season. The Rose Bowl has now filed an injunction and is asking a court to block UCLA from breaking their lease. Well, again, boys, isn't this why we institute buyouts? Right?
Yes.
We put a buyout in a lease so that we can get out of it if we pay X amount of dollars.
Oh, you want to move out of your apartment? Cool. Just pay the buyout, bro.
That's number one. But number two, I legitimately, as I've said on the show, think the Rose Bowl is garbage. It's good one day a year. That's it. I think it's garbage. But the issue now becomes that the Rose Bowl, which is going under renovations, partially funded by UCLA, has no main tenant if they leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is a financial disaster, and I think that building will close. I truly believe the building will close because the Rose Bowl flea market ain't keeping that thing in business.
Nope.
The occasional soccer match is not keeping that thing in business because the Super Bowl no longer goes to the Rose Bowl. It goes to SoFi Stadium. Right? This would be akin to USC football leaving the Coliseum. The Coliseum would be dead. And the problem is, here are the real issues. As somebody who lived in Los Angeles for over a decade, covered UCLA sports, have made far too many journeys to that shit box known as the Rose Bowl, where it's good one day a year. Here are the issues. It is so far from UCLA's campus. I think it's, what is it, Jake, 26 miles?
I believe so, but in LA time, that's like an hour and a half.
It is on some Saturdays, they claim that, and I want to say it's 32 miles from Westwood over to Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
They claim it's a 3-hour trip. And it can be. The traffic is horrendous. You have to go over multiple freeways. You have to climb the hill. Like, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. You want nothing to do with that. Right? So we can sit here and make stink about, oh, the Rose Bowl, the passion and tradition of Pasadena. Nobody on an average Saturday in September, October, or November gives a rat's ass about the passion and tradition of the Rose Bowl. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares because that place is half empty, 3/4 empty. And I think it's 30 plus miles away from UCLA. Now, having said that, SoFi Stadium is only slightly better. The parking is less, and trust me when I say that's a huge problem. But you can pack the lower bowl at SoFi, but here's where the rubber meets the road. Do you care that your soul does not exist in Inglewood? If you play UCLA football games, there's no history, there's nothing. But the absolute God's honest truth is there's no history in UCLA football to begin with.
Facts.
So all these people saying, Monty, oh my God, our tradition. You have no tradition, jerk face. Like you have none.
Right now, we ask.
You're going to blow up the football program after this season. You are firing everybody, bringing in a new regime, and starting over. You might as well do that 12 miles from campus instead of 30 miles from campus.
In a superior building, bro. Not just that it's closer, but just a total outright better facility.
Where you really can't tailgate at SoFi. Their parking sucks and it's expensive. But you can carpool, take a bus, Uber. You can Uber from UCLA's campus. You can Uber from a dorm. Hell, you can take a bird scooter from a dorm to SoFi Stadium. It's close enough to do that. You can't do that to the Rose Bowl. You can't take an Uber to the Rose Bowl because it'll cost you a left nut in fees. You can easily Uber over to SoFi. No problem. It's right next to the Forum. Like, you can easily do that. Yeah, there is no soul. USC fans are such a-holes. There is no soul at the Rose Bowl because you have to have human beings in the building, and that's not happening at UCLA football. And my guess is SoFi is going to be a much better economic endpoint for UCLA football than is the Rose Bowl, which is an absolute travesty for college football. I don't know any kinder way to say it than that. It just is brutal.
Couldn't agree more, bro.
Pierre Gatling. I live in Brentwood, and it takes at least an hour to get there depending on traffic. Which one? SoFi? Well, it's probably SoFi. But I'm telling you, the hike out to Pasadena is more than an hour. It's more than, as somebody who lived, I lived in Burbank for years, and it's an hour to get to the Rose Bowl from Burbank, depending on the day. And the truth about the Rose Bowl, and I think people don't understand this, it's not easy to get to. The people that live in that neighborhood hate you, and it's impossible to get out of. Even for a small crowd, it's impossible to get out of.
Yeah.
It's brutal. It's brutal, in my opinion. Brutal. Phil Venzer. UNLV didn't have a suitable stadium to play in. Now it's better to play in at Allegiant, for sure. Rex Kwando. UCLA also has to go through a full gauntlet rectal exam to get any renovations done since it's designated a national landmark. Yeah. 30-mile trek to get to a UCLA game from the dorm. Brutal. Brutal. SoFi is 16 miles from UCLA. It's not that far. I think it's, my honest to God opinion is I think it's 12 miles. Pierre, I was at a UCLA Nebraska game Saturday. The buyout is $80 million, which they're willing. They have $500 million in private equity. We'll see. Isn't UCLA's campus like 30 minutes away from SoFi? Depends on the hour of the day. UCLA pulling a UNLV and playing in a quarter-filled NFL stadium, but you make more money. Oh, God, Big Daddy Magic. Are you going to TCU BYU game in Provo? If so, we should meet up. I'll make a reservation at the nicest steakhouse in Provo. You buy. It's always you buy. He wants Big Daddy Magic, as I said the other day when I played the videos. He doesn't want me to buy him Bill shirts. He wants me to buy him weed now.
Talking to the wrong guy, BDM.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Paxton. Sup, James? Good to see you, bud. There's the blink. I saw it for the first time right there. There you go. I barely even remember UCLA plays at the Rose Bowl, honestly. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Why does UCLA uniform and helmet look fruity Pebble cereal to me? By the way, do rats have asses? They don't. I think they have really nice uniforms, and they have some really good alternates too. Should we give up the Macy's Christmas parade? Why would you give up the Macy's Christmas parade? What do you mean? Rose Bowl going to be a MLS field? I don't think so. I thought, well, LAFC certainly not. Where do the LA Galaxy play? The LA Galaxy, yeah, they have their own stadium. What am I even talking about? Yeah, they play at Dignity Health Sports Park.
Oh man, wow, dude.
You know, it could be a World Cup site, right? Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure that LAFC plays it. Aren't they named after a bank or something? I should look it up. They play in like Exposition Park or whatever. They BMO Stadium in Exposition Park, right by the Coliseum, like directly where the old sports arena used to be. So ain't nobody playing up in that place, man. Like the Rose Bowl's in trouble. If UCLA gets out of that lease, and they will, I think they're the Rose Bowl's in real trouble. You think UCLA is pre-spending that private equity money for that buyout? I would not. I would think they have to be. Oh, Paxton being a cock. Oh, Vince Young owns that building. Somebody needs to, we better call Vince Young. I mean, he owns the Rose Bowl. What does Vinny want to do with it? Horns down. You're such a jerk, Jake. I grew up 8 minutes from SoFi. I need to wear a vest. Bro.
Okay, again, we need to review the policy on people sending me pictures during the show.
Oh, God.
Bro, James, I don't need to see a dash picture out the front of your vehicle showing you doing 15 miles an hour on the freeway, bro. If anything, I need a picture of your trunk so we can make sure that Dana's, not tied up in the back.
That's a good point. Why does James feel compelled to send you pictures?
During the program.
I'll never understand Oak State James, who, again, I think it matters, right? When James sent that selfie of him, the infamous James's drunk picture.
This was a new look. This was right after the barber, and he said this was his new look.
Actually, I believe it was this one. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong picture. That's Oak State James you get. Or, excuse me, that's Trader TCU James.
Question of the day. Is James a visor guy?
Question of the day. Is James dead behind those eyes? Legitimate question. I mean, because with teeth that big, there can be no soul behind the eyes. Right? It's a legitimate question. The power of Christ compels James. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Macaque.
Oh, look, Greg Hawkins sent me a picture of his dash driving out, out the front of the car. Who knew, dude? Wow. No kidding.
I need. Oh God, you guys, my e-bike is built. It's at our fucking
$871 later, Monty.
I buy a Trek e-bike. $1,300. Like $300 to get it assembled. And then here in the great city of Seattle, they let you know, hey, you're going to need some fenders for that bike. It rains quite a bit, throws up some snail trail.
Some water.
How much do you think it is to buy fenders and put them on a bike? Just guess. A bicycle.
A lot.
Just guess. What do you think?
$100, $500, $500.
No. The fenders themselves are $110. $52 to fabricate them and install them on the bike. It's like almost $200 to buy fenders and have REI put them on because they're just metal and they have to be fabricated to fit your bike. Like, is there anything in this effing town that's not $1 million?
No, not even Brian Kelly, dude. I mean, it's incredible.
I looked at my Uber account the other day after I rode the scooters. Do you guys know I spent $47 riding scooters? Do you know how many sacks of hippie lettuce that would have bought for
Bro,
BDM?
do you know how many cases do you know how many cases of liquid death that would have bought you, bro? I mean, come on.
Nothing here is cheap. It is just so freaking stupid. It is so stupid. Oh, look at that. King of Thailand, who is actually in Thailand now. He lives in Thailand now.
Oh, he moved officially.
Yes. Yes. Or he's on his way. He's either traveling to or already there. Hey, gents, on plane now. Hope all is well. No, we hope you are well. Go kick ass. All my money is going to TCU. Maybe as President Trump gives us that 2K. Yeah, it turns out they're not giving out the 2K because, do you guys see that? It was never a promise. It was just an idea. It was a concept of a plan. Did you hear the 50-year mortgage thing?
Yes.
So according to the media, Mr. Pulte is out of sorts now with the White House, because he did not ask for permission to present this to Donald Trump. He presented it to Donald Trump in a graphic that Donald Trump took a picture of and put out on Truth Social. And the backlash was so swift and overwhelming that Mr. Pulte now is apparently well out of favor with the folks in the White House. Yeah, we shut down that 50-year mortgage thing pretty quick. Ridiculous. You live in Seattle, pay up, dude. It is so expensive. This is a litany of first world problems. It really is. It really, really is. You know, who the fuck is Dr. Yantl? Like, do you understand?
Okay, wait. Cursory Google search. Dr. Yandel. TCU.
Nobody cares. Talk about Dana. Nobody cares. Like, what are we doing? Trump indicates 107% tariff on Italy, including pasta. I give up. The 2K check will arrive at the same time the Republican alternate insurance plan takes place. Could be. Who the F is that guy, Dr. Yandel?
It's not a guy. It's a gal.
Oh, it's a Walmart manager. Really?
Hold on, I'm working on this. Hang on.
Look at James. Let's go, James. Yeah, that's the only drop that I have that I'm allowed to play.
Let's see. Here it is.
Doctor. So do tell, James, are we procuring new relationships?
Has Dana been replaced, or this is Dr. April Yandel of Texas Christian University?
Well, hello, doctor.
The Associate Director of Admission, specific to transfers.
Okay.
Joined TCU admission in 2015. Hobbies are going to concerts, eating roller food, and spending time with family and friends. It didn't say roller food. I added that. Don't sue me.
Stay hard. Wrong person. Dr. Yandel is in charge of demon. What is he makes sure that you're not possessed of the demons.
Okay, so now there's multiple Dr. Yandels.
Okay. I mean, is this what we're saying? Okay. She got some hot she got some hot pull it back hair. Oh my guy.
Dude,
we do not sexualize women on this show.
Can we chill a little bit?
We do not sexualize women on this show.
Yeah.
Where is that coming from, Michael? That is. Did you find the real Dr. Yandel, Jake?
The real Harvey Dent? No, I did not. Hang
Kurt
on.
Myers. I like the first one. Kurt, does James have an admission after meeting the wonderful young lady?
Bro, dude, James, you need to be more specific, bro. Reverend Dr. Michael Yandel.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wow.
That's who you met with.
I met with the good old Rev. We prayed together, and we found an insightful path forward based on Scripture, the word of Jesus Christ.
And his Bentley.
And, after we got out of, his Vantage, his Aston Martin Vantage, I dried off my lower lip and I went about my day knowing that my admission to the TCU Demon program was secure.
Yeah, bro, I'm not finding that guy on TCU's website. I'd just like to point that out.
Yeah, put the picture up of the other lady because she's better looking.
I'm seeing Reverend Dr. Michael Yandel at Bright Divinity School, the director of the Soul Repair Center and Doctor of Ministry program.
Look at Chad Perling.
Right? That's exactly what I'm saying, but at Bright Divinity, not at TCU.
Big Daddy Magic, James, you can do better than that. She has funny look, and I stay away from her. Well, if you're staying away from her, more for the rest of us. Girls with crazy eyes are always what? Does she have crazy eyes?
She does not have crazy eyes. Be nice.
Beautiful cheek.
Don't be mean. Okay, I have found a picture of bro.
Oh no. God damn it. Please don't have white hair and please don't wear glasses.
I found a picture of bro.
And I swear to God, if you put the picture of that monkey up there, I'm going to snap on you. Because that would be such a you thing to do.
Okay, we're loading.
Wait. Do we think he is older or younger than Oak State James?
Okay,
because
let me put James' picture up there.
My guess is it's not going to be too dissimilar from this. Because demons of a feather kind of tend to possess together.
Okay.
Possession.
Okay, demons of a feather and such as in like.
Possession's 9/10 of the Bible.
Right.
But my point is, I think it's not going to be too dissimilar to this.
Okay.
Just don't please be Sanduskified. Don't be old man with big nose and white hair.
Okay, are we ready?
I'm ready. Oh my God, he's a living environment. Bro, what a douchebag. Oh my God.
I don't know that he's a douchebag. I just think it's...
No, I'm not saying not for nothing. Birds of a feather fucking flock together. I swear to God, James, if you show up on this show next week with a tattoo on your neck of the cross.
Well, Monty, I felt compelled.
The power of Dr. Michael Yandel controls you.
Reverend Dr. Yandel and such as.
Bro, it's really close. Did he borrow your glasses for that picture, or did you borrow his for your picture? Bro, they are not that far apart. They are not that far apart. Tell me, James, did you find a new muse? You found a new muse, didn't you, James? Stay hard. You found a new muse, didn't you? Can you play some drops, please? This segment is built. Thank you. This segment is built for drops.
Sorry, I've been finding pictures and stuff.
It's an AI picture of James when he is younger. Listen, I don't even think that's inaccurate. James, have you and Dr. Yandel ever been seen in the same place? Good Lord, that guy got some Rand Paul toupee topper going. Yeah, he does. I'm crazy eyes. Yeah, give me old crazy eyes over Mr. AI toupee dude. Give me old crazy eyes instead of James, who shares his glasses with a priest at TCU. Well, look, when the duty calls, you just drop down and give him those glasses, boy.
Bro.
Same guy. Yeah, Jake, you can be replaced.
Yeah, apparently, dude.
James is the king of AI. Yeah, that's Dana Marie. Right? Chewy. Guy looks like he is a pastor of a church that plays Christian rock music. I don't disagree. Check that tat. Where's Big Daddy Magic? What's the over on Oak State James? Well, let's go Emmanuel Classe on this shit. What's the over under on James getting a tattoo of a cross on his neck? It's throat or shaft, one of the two, because you know it's happening.
Throat or shaft?
You know it is happening.
Bro.
Yeah, they all wear Warby Parkers in Texas, boy. God.
Apparently.
Dude, look how close it is. Now, James has massive teeth. And this guy is not in the beaver business, at least in the dental compartments.
It is what it is.
Notice the 5 o'clock shadow stash thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, notice the black glasses. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
James,
and then
can you confirm that's who you talked to?
And then we're trying to kick this one out of the Demon program.
Yeah, she's actually at TCU, not Divinity Christ College of Junior College.
Yeah, the forehead. That's right, the forehead. Look at the size of this guy's forehead. You can park a big rig on there. Same over here. Were you Trevor Lawrence's baby? Dude. Unbelievable. James, you never cease to amaze me.
And then there's Paxton. Texas at number 10.
You know.
Stay committed, bro.
Yeah, I see everybody is in the you know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bright Divinity School is on the campus of TCU. So technically you don't go to TCU then, you go to Bright Divinity. Is that correct?
You got to be goddamn kidding me.
I'm just asking. I mean, I think it's a reasonable question given today's transgressions, you know.
Are you kidding me that you don't even go to TCU?
I don't know. I'm asking if Bright Divinity is like considered a TCU credit or not.
You don't even go to TCU. How is that possible? How is that possible?
I personally believe.
Such as in like.
Dirac.
All right, let's indeed get to the college football playoff rankings, which are being announced as we speak. This is week 2 of the college football playoff rankings. Mm-hmm. And there's some interesting numbers here. And obviously I'm waiting for the graphic in total. But it looks like this so far. And I'm a little surprised by this. I'll be honest with you. When you look at Texas is number 10. Okay, I can get down with that. That puts Texas in a really good spot. Right? I like that. Texas is 10. Notre Dame is 9th. Notre Dame is 9th at this point. Oregon 8. Ole Miss 7. Should Oregon be ranked ahead of Ole Miss? What do you make of that? I think Ole Miss has earned that. But
yeah,
here's where the rubber meets the road. Texas Tech is number 6. Should Texas Tech be ranked ahead of Ole Miss?
No.
Because this is where we're going to start having real trouble here. Because in my opinion, I don't know how you go from 8 if you're Texas Tech, and this is the problem. You were 8 last week. You're only up 2 spots to 6 this week. How high is the ceiling here? That's really problematic. And the other issue is Ole Miss. This is where the strength of schedule starts to come in. Their best victory is over a depleted Oklahoma squad who was 13th at the time. Their worst game is they lost to Georgia, because I don't think the LSU win is worth nearly as much as it was. So Texas Tech 6, Georgia 5, Alabama 4, Texas A&M 3, Indiana 2, Ohio State number 1. That to me is I don't love this at all. I do not love this at all.
The Texas Tech ranking is very interesting, considering how Barron looked in that game and considering how the offense looked. I mean, part of me is like, hey, is that respect towards BYU? Is that them? Is this the CFP committee saying BYU is a good win? I mean, if you're going to put them at 6,
and you keep BYU at 12?
Yeah, so you're whether they like it or not, they're saying BYU is a good win.
Because here's last week. Here's last week's ranking. BYU at 7. BYU at 7. AP poll, they're at 12. College football playoff, BYU's at 12. They're still ahead of Utah. So the win matters.
It does.
The win matters. And I think that's very interesting. I think that is very, very interesting that you have BYU in the top 12. You have got Oklahoma ahead. So do we like Oklahoma ahead of... I don't know that I like Oklahoma there. I mean, obviously, Oklahoma lost to Texas and lost to Ole Miss and barely beat Tennessee. But barely beat Tennessee.
Yeah, still beat them, though.
Should Oklahoma be ranked ahead of BYU?
Yeah,
no.
Better, yes.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yes. Yes.
No way.
This is what you can't do, dude. You're
no
not
way.
going to put, you're not putting a one-loss BYU team ahead of Oklahoma when Oklahoma's got a million times harder of a schedule. You're
then
not doing
how is
that.
Notre Dame number 9 then?
Because Notre Dame gets a free pass. Notre Dame's not a fair example. Notre Dame gets a free pass, dude. We all know that.
I hate this for the Big 12. And unless something massive happens, the ACC's on the outside looking in.
Yeah, why do you hate this for the Big 12? The Big 12 is potentially working on getting 3 in right now with BYU and Utah.
Yeah, but I mean, BYU should be higher. BYU.
Well, okay, 1 spot higher. I'm not putting BYU ahead of Notre Dame. I'm not putting them ahead of Texas.
I don't believe in Oklahoma. What happens when Oklahoma loses to Bama this? Well, it's a good loss, Monty. No,
they get bounced. They get bounced.
I don't want excuses. They're 3-2 in conference, and they should not be where they are. They're 3-2 in conference, ahead of BYU, ahead of Utah. How is that possible?
Because Utah's losses are against inferior competition.
Well, I mean, I guess we could just go argue round and round about this. But who is Oklahoma? Who is Oklahoma? I mean, is Auburn impressive? Is Michigan impressive? No.
Yes, at the time, Michigan was ranked.
Oklahoma does not have a quality win. Who is their big quality win? Tennessee? No. If they lose to Bama, I don't ever want to hear from Oklahoma again. I hate this for the Big 12. Texas, Notre Dame. I mean, anybody in the top 10 is pretty solid. You got to win your games. You're pretty solid. But A&M behind Indiana? What sense does that make? Texas A&M's 9-0. And frankly, has 3 wins over ranked opponents, back-to-back over LSU and Missouri. So you're saying that Purbulla being out and LSU struggles is hurting Texas A&M right now?
No, I think they're saying that Indiana's got better wins, more impressive wins.
Wow. Yeah, I guess we'll just agree to disagree.
Oregon's a better win than Missouri. Oregon's a better win than yeah. I just think that Indiana's looked. I mean, I also think what they're saying is if you put Indiana and A&M on a football field, Indiana's going to win. That's what they're saying too. I don't know.
I mean, you barely beat Penn State here. It took a miraculous play, but okay. Again, I don't think it even matters at 2 versus 3. We've got.
You're not wrong about that, but it's a sentiment, right? I mean, listen, I think the Oklahoma thing we can go around and round about. I agree with that, but I think that this is best case scenario for the Big 12. We've got 3 teams in the Big 12 who are vying for position here, and it's ridiculous to me that somehow, some way, after how things have gone, Utah still has a shot. And I'm telling you, I am telling you right now.
How is Texas? Isn't Texas? Texas is 7-2.
Yep.
Boy, don't you feel good about where Texas is then with what they've got left? Georgia, Arkansas, Texas A&M. No, if they beat Georgia this weekend, even if you lose to Georgia and then you beat Arkansas and Texas A&M, Texas is going to be right on the line.
I disagree. You're a 3-loss team. You're out. It's over. You can't. You're not getting into the CFP as a 3-loss team. Texas and OU.
So 2 of your 3 losses are Ohio State and Georgia.
Yeah.
Those are 2 really good losses.
I guess, dude. I don't disagree with that, but there's got to be a line in the sand somewhere. I mean, if you're.
I think the bigger point here, you guys, I think the Big 12 gets absolutely 0 love out of this. I think that BYU is not respected as a quality opponent. I think Utah and Texas Tech are Texas Tech obviously is in really good shape. They got to run the table, and they're in good shape. BYU and Utah are going to have to absolutely. This is what I said. Go break spinal columns against TCU this weekend. Because I don't even know. What is Utah going to have to do to get in? What's Utah going to have to do to get in? BYU would have
to lose. BYU has to lose for Utah to get in. Because I don't think you're getting 3 in from the Big 12. So what the committee is saying here.
The problem is it's Baylor, K-State, and Kansas for Utah.
Yeah.
That's not enough to get them in my opinion. Because it's the Big 12, and I just don't think there's any love for the Big 12. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. The Big 12 is simply not a respected league. This is what many fans feared would happen. Also, it seems the Big 12 is a weak league this year. We needed at least 2 more top 25 teams this year, methinks. Okay. And again, why is Dave Aranda still employed?
Well, hold on. Why are we okay? I need to understand this. Why are we saying that the Big 12 is not respected? The Big 12 has more teams vying to get in than they ever have this time of year. So I'm genuinely asking, why is it that we feel that they're
vying to get in is very different than who ultimately will get in.
Right, but it still is an improvement. It's better than having Texas Tech in the top 10 and nobody else in the top 25 on the CFP rankings.
Yeah, I that in a bag of dicks will get you a bag of dicks. I don't think honest to God, I hate this for the Big 12.
Okay, why? Why do you hate it?
Because it limits I'm with Greg Hawkins 100%. I don't see any way, shape, or form. That this is. I think you're a one big bid league. I think that's all. This is Texas Tech, and that's it. That's what this feels like to me.
Okay, how are we getting there? BYU is at 12. If they win out, they're in. They're a one-loss team, and you're not penalized for the championship game. So,
right, but you're probably not going to win out, and they're on the line at 12. I think Utah, unless Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas gets swept, I don't even know. But you look at this right here, like, I mean, it sucks. You are at this point the first 2 out, Oklahoma and BYU. You're a one bid league. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not getting 2 in my opinion. You're just not gonna.
You're not. Well, let me make the case though. Let me make the case because we're sitting here saying they're not going to get 2 in. So Texas has a real good chance of losing to Georgia. You lose to Georgia, you're not getting into the CFP. You cannot have 3 lost teams in the CFP. So that's one team that's out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would also contend that when you look at Tech, they should win out. They should, West Virginia shouldn't be a problem.
Let's assume that Texas Tech is the conference champion.
Okay. Auto bid it in at that point.
Who's the Big Ten champion? Let's call it Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, who is the ACC champion? Let's say Miami. And then who's the SEC champion? Say Texas A&M. There's those four. Now you got 8 teams. Right? And you look at this, I don't think there's any doubt Ole Miss is in unless they completely fall apart. Indiana's in. I think Texas A&M is in. I think Bama's in. Oregon's in. Georgia's probably in. And then it's going to come down to the G5. Whoever the G5 champ is, that's 7. So you're playing for one spot that goes to Notre Dame. You're a one-bid league. You're a one-bid league. That's it. You're screwed. Like you don't have, in my opinion, you don't have a path almost to put 2 in. You're going to need so much help. You would need Texas to lose 2 of the next 3. You will need, in my opinion, you will need Oregon to lose. You will need Oregon to lose to USC or at Washington, because that will eliminate, in my opinion, that'll make it really hard for Oregon to get in. Right? You will need. I think anybody in the top 5, obviously. Anybody in the top 5 is in. Yeah, Notre Dame. You need Notre Dame to drop to Pitt this weekend. You need that. That's on the road at Pittsburgh.
So you still have
need Notre
some
Dame
outs
to
here.
lose.
Yeah, you have.
You
some
do,
outs.
but it's really, you need a lot of help. You need a lot of help. Chewy, I'm in Jake's camp. Big 12 can get 3 in with Texas and OU losing. Yeah.
I didn't say they could get 3 in. I never said you could get 3 in. I said that you had 3 teams vying to get in, and 2 is what you're looking at. You're not.
And
a
this
3-bid
is the legitimate.
league.
This is the legitimate right here. Notre Dame and Texas have to lose,
which is a very real possibility. That's what I'm saying. We're sitting here saying that this is not good, and what I'm saying is this is the best position you've been in the CFP so far. This is ideal almost, like, as far as the conference is concerned, because if Texas loses to Georgia, which is a very real possibility, it's a road game. Georgia's got a great defense. Who the hell knows what's going to happen in that game? So if they lose that game, and I don't think Notre Dame's losing to Pitt, but that's a road game for them. Let's say that they lose. Now, all of a sudden, we have a very different conversation. That's a one-loss BYU team, especially, obviously, we're assuming they'll take care of TCU, Cincinnati, and UCF. If you're a one-loss BYU team, I think you find your way in, because I do think one of those 2 has one more loss on the schedule. So that's what I'm saying. If you got Tech and BYU, you're golden. You're absolutely golden.
Yeah, and if Miami doesn't get in, you're screwed.
Why do you say that?
I just think that because you're going to get one from the ACC. That's it.
Oh, you're just saying it's a conference, the ACC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This is, yeah. Texas can split Georgia and the Aggies with these rankings and be on the edge. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel, I legit don't want to think about college football because of Scott Frost. It's a rough life right now. But Miami needs to win their conference, or this is another lost season. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? Jake used to play drops on the show. He doesn't anymore. Fight on Natties. Let's be real honest. This CFP is going to turn into the horseshit SEC Invitational. It might. Yeah.
But
Texas, Georgia this weekend, Maury.
That's such a cop-out take, dude. It's not the horseshit SEC Invitational when those horseshit teams would beat your horseshit teams any day of the week.
And
that's
Brody,
your problem.
And this is the issue in the Big 12. You don't have a matchup now or probably in the next 3 years that's as significant as Texas and Georgia.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
Right? You don't have. You just don't have it. Like at this game is just so massive, man. And like it is going to be fascinating to me to see how this plays out. It truly, I think this weekend is massive. I cannot wait to park my fat ass on the Diddy party couch and just watch it go down.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited. Like, if didn't Georgia, Florida draw 7.8 million?
Something like that.
This is probably a 10, 12 million game. It is. I think it is that many people that are going to tune into that game. I think it could be 10 million people. It is going to be that significant. And, I hate this for the Big 12 because I think they deserve to get 2 in. And
this year, I think they do, yeah, with what's going on in the ACC. Absolutely.
Notre Dame doesn't belong there, man. I'm just going to keep saying, and I love my Irish. You guys know I bone up for the Irish.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at the BYU TCU game, and I'm cheering for TCU. Dude, you're a BYU AJ DeBanza. Oh, AJ.
Yeah, dude. You mean you're throat stretching AJ at this point.
Jake, if you know anything about football at any level, preseason rankings are just speculation and horseshit. Well, there is some of that. But, bone up for the Irish, indeed. What were you going to say, Jake?
You cannot, dude, fight on, bro. What you don't want to admit is that you can't get away from the fact that the SEC has better teams, bro. Like the SEC, like Georgia and Bama. And hell, throw Texas in there, even with as as they've been this year. Dude, USC wouldn't last. Under Lincoln Riley, would not last in the SEC. You'd be probably a 4-win team this year if you played an SEC schedule. Let's keep it real, right? And that's the difference, is that Oregon is struggling to grind by an Iowa team. I don't believe for a second that Dan Lanning and Oregon are ever undefeated in the SEC. Ever. Not one single time. Because you're just not the same as these SEC teams with this schedule that they're playing. So I don't think it's bias. I don't. Like, I think when you look at these rankings, there's a reason that Bama and Georgia, once again, are right there. There's a reason Ole Miss is ahead of Oregon. Like, I don't think that this is that hard to understand, bro. And as far as like preseason rankings and polls, yeah, it's all speculation because it's all about what you did on the field. So, preseason is speculation, but it's not speculation now when these teams are doing what they're doing. So I just don't understand why this is so difficult to wrap your head around, bro. Like, this is pretty straightforward that the SEC dominates the strength of schedule conversation, which inevitably makes them dominate the CFP rankings. I mean, this is not that difficult to understand, man. Like it or not.
Yeah, I think it's hard for people to digest. We've talked about this, and the one bell cow that most haters of the SEC usually hang on to is ratings. And I'm telling you right now, Jake, any idea what do people watch? Do people watch more Big Ten football than they do the SEC?
No, they watch SEC football.
Significantly better viewership numbers. And I think it's awfully difficult to ignore that. As much as people want to ignore that, I think it's awfully difficult to ignore that. You know, and I don't know, man. I want people to understand it, and I just don't know. Kurt Myers, Monty, can you get a new co-host? Well, I mean, Big Daddy Magic's available, I believe. Could be Jake. They want to get rid of you.
Cool.
You know,
that isn't going to change the fact that the SEC is better than you.
The only reason that the SEC teams are still ranked as high as they are is because preseason rankings that get that through your head. Bro, are you out of your mind? Have you do you, bro? With all due respect, my guy, this is where you
Nick
lose.
Saban is a better man than you are.
this is where you start falling apart, with all due respect. And I showed this yesterday. Let me re-pull the graphic. Because people getting all pissed off. Let me just show you the Bible of college football rankings. Most people, and again, I think you would all agree, ESPN FPI is generally, and this is the guy that designed the ESPN FPI, this picture right here. Jake, nothing? Okay. Nope. Here's the ESPN FPI. Widely regarded as the singularly best indicator of who the best teams in the country are. Start counting. Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Vandy, Oklahoma. 7 of the top 12. Right? And then, of course, you have 2 in the Big 12, right? And this is strength of record, right? But you only have 3 Big 10 teams. Huh. That's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, you guys, it's not because of the preseason rankings, homie. The SEC legitimately is the best football conference in the country. And I've talked about this forever. And when we start looking at strength of record, and people don't want to look at rank among all FBS teams, on your remaining schedule, the SEC dominates that metric. You start looking at, the game control rank. Okay, the Big Ten makes some leap there, which is what Big Ten folks go to. Well, game control. Why do they make a leap in game control? Because you're playing shitty opponents. That's why you make a leap. Oh, but wait, Monty, we got to look at Monty. Let's look at the top 10 in strength of schedule then, Monty. Okay, well, number 1 is Florida. Number 2 is Wisconsin. Number 3 is LSU. 4 South Carolina. 5 Auburn. 6 Bama. 7 Arkansas. 8 Kentucky. Illinois. Pedophilia. 11 is Georgia. 8 of the top 11 strength of schedule belong to the SEC. And I'm happy to go so far as I'm happy to hear you. But no, Goldfinger, it's not, though. No, it's not. It's science and data. It's not, the SEC, Monty, nobody questions the validity of the FPI, man.
The numbers don't lie, bro.
Right. Like I want, God damn it, I want people to understand not everything's a conspiracy theory. Like, do you
Infowars.com.
There's just not much I can do with that. Right? I mean, when you look, do you guys understand that the ESPN FPI is on-field performance in previous games, like distance traveled, extra days of rest, there's like a whole formula. It's based on the average number of points by which a team would beat the average college football team. It's not, we have we're in bed with the SEC. We better rank teams higher. And it's data science, my guy. Like, I know you don't like it.
I don't live in a what if scenario.
Fight on natties. Yeah, this is regarded by nothing but SEC pundits. Yeah, just the entire college football universe who uses it. Are you out of your mind? Like,
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
As much bias as people say there is to prop up the SEC, there's so much more bias trying to knock them down. Like, okay, you're accusing me of whining, so let's just save ourselves some time and pick the national champion from the SEC conference in a round robin every year.
No, let's be
But
accountable.
again, what I'm asking you is, what does the preseason ranking have to do with anything? Because I can play that game with you too. Because the funny thing is, I just looked at this on Saturday night. If I look at the preseason rankings, do you know who was number 1 in the preseason rankings? That'd be Texas. Who was number 2? Does anybody remember who number 2 was? Yeah, Epstein Island, Knuckle Deep Boys. Penn State was number 2. Well, Monty, and what happened? They burned an absolute deuce in their pants. Who was number 3? Well, SEC bias, Monty. That'd be Ohio State. Okay. Who was number 4? Wow, Monty. Noel Monty's. It was Clemson. What happened to Clemson? Yeah, it all ran down Dabo's thigh. Who was number 5? Georgia. SEC bias, I told you. So wait, let me get this right. 3 of the top 5 are not SEC teams in the preseason rankings, and you're bitching about the preseason rankings being like biased to the SEC. I can't fucking help you, man, because they weren't biased to the SEC.
Oh man, dude.
3 of the top 5 were not SEC teams. And they're biased, Monty. Well, Notre Dame, by the way, 4 of the top 6, excuse me, because Notre Dame was number 6. Oh, by the way, how about 4 of the, because Oregon was number 7.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
So let me get this right, Monty. 5 of the top 7 were not SEC, and it's an SEC bias in the preseason rankings.
Oh.
Well, ESPN is just reloading the batteries in that twat banger so that they can get the SEC into the poll. Somebody forgot to tell the idiots at ESPN that Oregon and Clemson and pedophilias are... Stop. I know you hate it.
Name, image, and likeness.
I know you hate it. Oregon lost on the field. Penn State lost on the field. Clemson lost on the field. Texas lost on the field. Well, if there's an SEC bias, Texas is staying up there. No, number 10, not number 1 anymore. They lost on the field. And again, just because I like, flexing my peen, is the SEC number 1? No. They're number 2 though, Monty. SEC. No, Indiana's number 2. Now, are they 3, 4, and 5? Yes. But what about 6? Nope. Texas Tech, who should not be ahead of Ole Miss, is ahead of Ole Miss. Well, Monty, man, certainly Texas is going to be in there.
Oh.
Well, then there's Oregon and Notre Dame and the goddamn Mormons with their caffeinated beverages now. I'll stop. I'm a bad person. Go Notre Dame. Big 12 bias, boy. ESPN's just got this Big 12 bias, boy. My guy Marcus says, Monty, pull his head out of the bowl. You're going to drown him.
Bro.
You take you a deuce. You don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on.
I think you mean gosh darn Latter-day Saints.
Man, those gosh darn Latter-day Saints, Monty.
I can't stand Oregon, but you're saying that Oregon sucks. I'm not saying Oregon sucks.
No, he's not.
I said Oregon lost on the field.
Monty, have you been speaking Russian today? Is that the issue, dude?
I not only landed Dante Moore.
Sucking a ding dong.
I said that throw. Let's just agree to disagree. Fire Lincoln Riley and let's all have a happy fight on Natties.
Fucking A.
Unfortunately, this conversation will have to take place in person so I could explain to you with my fists why the preseason ranking helps the SEC so much.
Okay, bro. Sure. All right.
I love you, dude. And I appreciate it. BYU drinks Coke Zero. Okay.
Bro, what are you, a BYU expert now? Like, what the hell is this?
It was sarcasm. Well, you and your AI finger boy over there in TCU, Damon Land.
AI finger boy. For all those trying to catch up, that would be this bro right here.
This is James' mentor with a tattoo on his neck. This is James. Well, look, we went to Warby Parker on the same day, bro. What do you want?
Brother.
So was I, James. So was I. So was I.
Oh, dude, that's incredible,
Which
bro.
G5 schools get in? I think it's SoFlo. I think South Florida is. This just isn't the year for the Mountain West. You know, Big Daddy Magic. Big Daddy Magic. You got a problem with Timothy? You got a problem with
Timothy.
Big Daddy Magic. Or introduce you to Let Up and Lights Out Larry.
Chewy. Dude.
So Big Daddy Magic. Big Daddy Magic.
Bro, Chewy.
That's the guy who's giving James ideas for IPS. Well, look. Do you see this cross on my throat? Do you see this cross on my throat? Let's go to Notre Dame and build an upper deck to block touchdown Jesus.
Bro.
What's an erection?
James, I am your mentor, and I want you to know as soon as I pull these fingers out, we have work to do. Like, oh, wow, today has been a day. Today has been a day. It has been a day. And, you know.
Wow. Okay. Greg Hawkins. Look at that dude's haircut. Yes, we know, dude.
We're aware.
We got this already, bro. Dude. Bro said, give me the skin fade on the sides and just leave a little on top.
Yeah, I went to clearly, yes, I went to barber school to get a haircut.
Yes, you did.
Because I ride with James. He broke me at Buc-ee's in more ways than one. So then I went to the barber school and
I want more.
It'd be cool if BYU played Tulane in the college football playoff. One of the two or both of those would have to get in.
I mean, Monty, the Jake Retzloff Bowl would really be incredible for viewership, you know?
BDM is a pocket rocket. He needs stilts to fight. No, you ain't wrong about that. This showgram is off the rails. It is now.
Yeah, because you got USC fan trying to hate on the SEC, which turns into us, you know, getting Greg talking about dude's haircut. You know.
How does James do this to himself every day?
You know.
Well, let me show you guys a picture of my mentor, bro.
Just so
Please
you can
don't.
go to Pound Town.
Please, James, don't show us pictures of your mentor saying, oh, look, he's a really hip dude. We know. We know. Well, and the menage a trois with the Walmart manager, let me tell you something about that.
I need a dick.
You haven't lived. You haven't lived until you smashed in the electronics section at Walmart, bro. You have not lived.
Holden Middick.
When you're absolutely railing somebody and you look up and there's that smiling price drop yellow circle face thing, let me tell you, happy hour takes a new meaning.
Stay hard.
Monty and Jake are James enablers. He's a character on the show. He totally is.
This was an iconic James performance today, bro. Iconic.
Like I listen, I can't. You can't make up the stuff. You would not be able to go to Hollywood and have a script writer write the shit that James says on this show.
Which is, you know, just kind of weird.
You would never make, do you know how many Labubu dolls James has wrapped in the storeroom at
Facial
Walmart?
recognition.
Do you understand?
Bro's got a case in the trunk, dude.
Bro, what happened to all these Labubu dolls? Oh, I'll stay James was here. Okay. Donate them to homeless kids. No, you probably shouldn't.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
You know. Yeah,
Dude.
I love the Pound Town drop that Jake used to play one time on this show.
Bro, I just played it. Now I gotta remember what page it's on since I've got like 40 pages of drop. Oh, here it is.
Just so you can go to Pound Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Monty, it's a menage a trois with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let me tell you something.
Seems like a great opportunity to slip and splash.
You ever pounded box on the Trident, bro? Let me tell you something. Gives the body of Christ a whole new meaning.
Kitty cat juices is not all over the place.
Wow, I'm going to hell.
You have to check it before you wreck it.
Too late for that, my lady. Labubu Dolls is crazy, bro. That was an awesome poll.
Oh man, dude.
You know. Monty, are you out like Jake on a 9-3 Texas making it? It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough as Taint to make it at 9-3.
Tough as Taint? Bro, like what?
I'm reduced to stupid canned soundbites.
Janus.
I'm not allowed to have a drop machine anymore. You know, Dana gots the meat. She could. All right. The Monty Show, as always, presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Be amazing, you guys. And if the worst happens, please just know that The Advocates are ready to serve you. Compassion and empathy in a dogged fight to get you the result that you deserve. That's why you go get clear risk-free advice right now at theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow when James is going to say something else ridiculous, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.